rain and all kinds of madness. It is a gorgeous day right now in Malvern, Arkansas. It's 70 degrees. There is no wind. There's not a cloud in the sky, and we're about ready for 7-4A baseball. Hello, everyone. This is Blake Bell, as usual, bringing you Badger baseball. We are 8 games into the season, the conference season, and the Arkadelphia Badgers are leading the conference at an undefeated 8 wins against no losses. Today they'll take on the Malvern Leopards from here at Malvern. Malvern in a little bit of a rebuilding year, 2-7 on the conference year, 3-15 overall. We're getting the starting lineups here for. Just introduce the Badgers. The Badgers in the red tops today, the gray bottoms, sporting the old green hats again. Of course, we have talked about the green hats. Everyone that doesn't know the story is asked what the deal with the green hats. They started out the week of St. Patrick's Day just to be a little different, a little festive, and they started winning and have not lost since. So the green hats stay until the Badgers lose, and I can't say I disagree with that philosophy. So that it is. Arkadelphia and Malvern. Malvern in the black tops, the gray pants, the black hats. They're being called to the field right now. Both of the coaches are meeting at the plate with the umpires of today's game. I want to welcome into the broadcast today Chris Babb. Chris had a very neat trip a week or so ago. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the broadcast, but we're going to get ready for the national anthem here in just a few minutes, or a couple of seconds. We're going to pause as we recognize America.
This time we ask that you please stand for our pledge of allegiance, followed by a moment of silence and our national anthem. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now a moment of silence. And now our national anthem presented by Ms. Beth Self and Heather Sanders.
All right, so as the players work their way back to their respective dugouts, we're about ready for baseball here, 4A baseball. Speaking of 4A, since we're past the halfway mark in the high school round robin, Arkadelphia at 8-0, again, six 7 teams or 8 teams. We'll have to play 7 games. We actually are going to have to play Fountain Lake a couple of times within a week's time here in just a week or so. Next week we'll play them, and then the following week within 6 days of each other we'll play. But I want to talk a little bit about the other conference leaders and who we may be facing in the regionals. Regionals will be, by the way, they'll be right here at Malvern the 5th of May through the 7th. So short drive from Arkadelphia. We'd like for all Badger fans, if Arkadelphia should make the regional playoffs, so they'll be playing right here at Malvern. Let's take a look at the batting lineup today for Arkadelphia. Leading off is Tate Goodrum. He's playing short as usual. Carter Babb going to get the start on the mound today and batting second. Trip Campbell out in center field will be at batting third. Batting in the cleanup spot is the left fielder Jarrett Bell. Batting fifth, Wynn Pentecost at his usual third base. Donovan Witten will be batting sixth at second base. Ryan Harris going to move up to bat seventh in the lineup. He's in right field. Tucker Johnson batting in the 8th spot at first base, and Zane Hill will be behind the plate and batting ninth. No designated hitter in the lineup today for Arkadelphia. They're going to look very similar in the field, left to right. Defensively in the infield is going to be Pentecost, Goodrum, Witten, and Johnson. In the outfield, left to right, is Bell, Campbell, and Harris. Behind the plate, the battery will consist of behind the plate Zane Hill and, again, the left-hander Carter Babb on the mound today. We'll see that defense here in just a few minutes, but right now we're going to see the offense take the field. Tate Goodrum going to get things started. Tate batting .405 on the year, on-base percentage of .491. He is a true leadoff hitter. He's a hard out for Arkadelphia. Here's the first pitch, and it's low for ball one. Starting pitcher is Tyler Golden for Malvern.
I believe he might have started against Arkadelphia last year and had a good effort against the Badgers, holding him at bay last year.
Golden's a junior, and Tate, as usual, going to be patient. Had a game or so there where he's hit the first pitch, and it's not been really paying off much for him. There's a 2-1 strike, or 2-0 strike. 2-1 now the count on Tate.
Right behind us, Blake, the Lady Badger softball and Lady Leopard softball teams are playing each other, so we'll kind of give you some updates as we go along in that game as well.
3 balls and a strike now to Tate. You know, the Badgers are 8-0 in conference. 7 of those 8 games, they've scored double digits on offense. The Malvern Leopards are the only team to hold them to less than 10 runs, and Arkadelphia off with a base hit to start on a 3-1 count. Tate Goodrum hits it back up the middle to lead things off with a single.
Yeah, that was a little bit low in the zone. Goodrum went down and got it just right back up through the box. Good leadoff for Tate Goodrum, as you mentioned.
Carter Babb now going to step in from the left side. Again, Carter going to start on the mound. Had a little bit of a shoulder issue after the last game. He kind of did a slide into first, but did beat the throw, but come up a little lame, and so everything seems to be okay with that right shoulder. Obviously a left-handed pitcher, but it's good to see him in good shape. He'll bat second here. He takes low, ball 1. Ball gets behind the catcher, and Goodrum started to go, but not far enough away for him to try the steal.
Yeah, couldn't quite get a read on it from that angle. Didn't go very far behind the catcher. Catcher took a little bit to find it, but not enough for Tate to take a gamble right there.
Not a ton of room. There's ball 2. Not a ton of room. Not near as much as DeQueen as far as foul territory down the lines, but the big obstacle here for catchers is that sloping area from the plate to the backstop. It drops about 4 feet, and it's a big area there that is, if the ball ever gets by the catcher, Chris, it's going to be a base.
Definitely going to be extra bases. It's been built up over the last few years, but still going to be extra base, an advance for the runner.
Golden way behind again, and he throws a 3-0 strike to stay alive in the count. Babb working the count very efficiently. 3 balls and a strike now to the junior. Campbell on deck. We'll talk about him in just a few minutes. There's strike 2, and Babb throws the bat, anticipating ball 4. He'll go back and see another one.
Yeah, that one got the benefit on the outside, the chalk there on the, or the paint on the right-handed batter's box. So now after you throw the bat, you've really got to give it a rip at anything close.
Here's a stretch in the pitch, and it's going to be fouled out of play down the left side over into the bullpen area of Malvern. He'll stay alive with the 3-2 count.
Mentioned the softball game. It's a big game for both teams. Malvern currently 4th place at 5-4 in the softball, in the 4A7. Arkadelphia in 6th place, a game and a half back. So big game behind us. We'll give you updates as well.
Getting his lead from first is Goodrum. He started things with a leadoff base hit up the middle, and he's going to try to take second, but it's fouled away. He'll come back, and both will do it again. Arkadelphia got a big week next week. They will not play tomorrow. This game obviously not on a Friday as normal, but they will play a couple next week, Tuesday and Friday, and we'll talk about those in just a second. Here's the 3-2. Bab's going to barely get fouled down the left side. Good idea there is he took it the opposite field, and the only place there's shade on the ballpark right now is over that third baseman.
Yeah, he's kind of, you can see there on the left of the screen, that is the only spot on the field that starts out the game in the shade.
Here's the 3-2. Very important here. There's a throwback over to first. Back in on his belly is Goodrum. Golden pitching righty, pitching from the stretch outside, and he missed him. So very, very patient at bat. Saw a lot of pitches, fouled several off. Good at bat there for Carter.
He's a little bit more hesitant to go down to first base on that one, but that one was just just a little bit too far in that right-handed batter's box to get the call.
Campbell now, he's leading the team in just about every category there is. He's batting .450, .538 on base. He's got 18 hits. That leads the team as well, and 2 home runs. So we'll see if he takes strike one. The big left-hander playing in center field. He's also been leading the team on the mound. He's got a couple of no-hitters this year. Just a good all-around season for Tripp. Runners now at first and second, nobody out. We're in the top of the first from Malvern. Shot up the middle, that's going to get down for a base hit, and going back to the bag, not exactly sure where that was. Tate only gets a base, probably would have not gotten more than that anyway. So now it's bases loaded here to start the game, and 3 hits the other night. The last ball game up is Jarrett Bell. He's the hottest hitter, at least for the last game or so, Arkadelphia has.
A good start for Arkadelphia offensive. I know Tripp goes down as a base hit. He's probably kind of frustrated. He kind of got jammed, but didn't quite get all of that one. Just found a hole, though.
Another big ballpark. We'll talk about the dimensions in just a second, but here's Bell starting things out. He takes an outside strike for strike one. JB's had a really rough start to the season at the plate, and he's come on lately to get that average up to near 200. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed at the curveball. That one fell just a little bit out of the strike zone, and JB wasn't able to go get it. So he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Golden is first time really to get ahead of a hitter since the game began. Here's the 0-2. It's hit to the right side. The first baseman going to gobble it up. He's got 1 play, and that's all. The Badgers will score a run, so a sacrifice there. Bell doing his job. He put the ball in play. Actually, probably the best outcome, Chris, because we've got the forces off now with runners at second and third, both still in scoring position.
Yeah, good play by the first baseman to get down on that one. Kind of skipped on him a little bit, but you're right. Obviously, Goodwin was running on the contact with it being a ground ball, just not hit hard enough for the first baseman to be able to come home for the force. So Wynn Pentecost now still with a couple of runners in scoring position. Great hitter, having a great season, both on the defensive side and at the plate. Pentecost hitting .324. He's got 15 runs on the year and 16 RBIs, only trailing Campbell by 1 in the RBI department. Good chance here for a couple more. He check swings and I believe he got just a little bit of the bat. Yeah,
so
that was a good pitch by Golden. It was ahead in the count 0-1, threw that right on the inside part of the plate, jammed Pentecost.
So again, Golden ahead 0-2. We'll see if he can get Pentecost. 1 out now. Badgers have plated a run. Good swing there to stay alive. Not really the one he wanted, but he Knew it was too close to take. He fouls it back to the screen. And we'll go at the 0-2 again. Wynn's walked 8 times. He's only struck out 5, so look for him to hit the baseball. There's a good opposite field. It goes foul up against the right field foul line. 385 to center field in the batter's eye, 335 down the alleys, 340 down the lines here in Malvern. No wind, so just a little sun. There again, he stays alive, fouling that one off, not the one he wants. Golden going aggressively to the curveball. We'll see if he gets a strike or see if he gets a fastball to hit. There's a ball in the dirt, not enough to get the runner in. Babb goes back to third. Second base is Campbell. Tate Goodrum led off things in this top of the first with a single up the middle. He then scored on a sacrifice fielder's choice from Jarrett Bell. And again, fouling it back, running those pitches up. Golden pitched a couple of innings earlier in the week. Not sure how many pitches he threw, but he did throw a couple of innings earlier in the week, so not enough to avoid the start here today. Nobody holding the runners on, so a little larger leads than normal. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and again it's fouled away, so a lot of pitches seen here by Pentecost.
Yeah, I believe I just heard it's the 8th two-strike pitch that Arkadelphia has fouled off between Pentecost, Babb, and I know those two have had most of those 8, but I'm not sure about the other ones. But good ABs so far in the top of the first.
Here's the 1-2 for the 9th time, and it's dribbled up the middle but hit him in the box, so foul ball again. That's the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Here's the 1-2 again. Witten on deck for Arkadelphia. Swing and a miss. An inside high fastball got him. And that was a great pitch by Golden. And now he's got 2 outs. And standing between him and the end of an inning is Donovan Witten.
That's a good pitch. 1-2, as a pitcher, you've got the ability to kind of go anywhere. You're ahead. And he went and hid inside and was able to get it. Now I believe we're going to have a courtesy runner for
Carter Babb
pitching. It's going to be Kelvin Middleton.
Nobody gets on base anymore than Donovan Witten on Arkadelphia's team. He's a .617 on base percentage, batting .333 on the year. Nobody walks more than Witten either. He's got 17 base on balls this year. Witten now with a couple of runners in scoring position. He can do a little more damage. We'll see. First pitch is an outside strike for.
I'm living there. If I'm a pitcher, the umpire's giving the outside part of the plate. That's a good spot for a pitcher to hit. Golden's hit that twice against Babb, and then twice on right-handed batters as well.
And he does. He comes in a little bit. Swinging over the top of it was Witten. So now he's down. So after getting way behind the first 3 Badger hitters, he's now gotten – Golden has gotten way ahead of the last 3. Here's the pitch outside. That's too far outside. And coming in is Middleton. He'll score standing up. The Badgers lead it 2-0. And down to third base is Trip Campbell.
Yeah, there's an example. If it gets past the catcher at all, you can take that extra secondary at third base, and it really puts the onus on catchers here at Morrison Park or at Malvern to block that ball up if you have a runner on third base.
So 1-2, one more runner over there to clean up. And he's not able to do it as he swings at the outside curveball and goes down. But Arkadelphia scores 2 in the inning after a half. Arkadelphia leads at 2-0 here in Malvern. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Arkadelphia Badger Baseball on Mascot Media and ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
So we're back to Malvern. Arkadelphia takes quick advantage in the top of the first as they score 2 runs. They did leave a runner on, but they've started things out on the right foot here in Malvern. On the mound now for the Badgers is Carter Babb. Babb's been in the normal rotation all year for Arkadelphia. He's pitched in 16 innings. He's given up 15 hits, hit 1 batter. He's got a 5.25 ERA. He started out really in the hole, Chris, but he's come on lately during the conference year and really pitched well for Arkadelphia.
Yeah, had a rough first outing of the season. He got the opening day start at Bismarck. Didn't get out of the first inning. Had some better outings since then. Behind us, in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Arkadelphia softball did not score in the top of the first inning. No score. Malvern batting in the bottom of the first with 1 out.
So we're about ready to go here, and leading off things will be the sophomore catcher, Adams. Hunter Adams. Hunter just a sophomore. Steps in from the right side. Got some young players on this Malvern team, part of their rebuilding process. Here's the first pitch from Babb. Nice inside strike, a swing and a miss, and Carter seems to find the zone early here at Malvern. Got that glove up in front of the face, shakes off the first sign from Hill, and here he comes into the windup. The second pitch is a little short of the plate. Ball and a strike now. You know, Chris, we've seen this team really grow up during this season. Arkadelphia's got some good leadership, some really productive seniors and juniors on the field there. Only Zane is a underclassman, and he got a lot of experience last year. There's a shot to short center field, and it's going to find a hole. Little Texas leaguer out there in front of Trip Campbell will drop in, and Malvern's on the bases to start things off in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, good AB by Adams. He got him on the inside. Put that one just where Trip Campbell did, where nobody could catch it. That's all you need to do is find a hole, find a spot, a lot of room in that outfield. And Adams found a gap. The catcher brings up the shortstop, Dalen Weaver.
Weaver, a junior, he's seen action in, I believe, as early as a freshman. Remember that name. He squares to bunt and isn't able to keep it fair. So
Coach Knight trying to manufacture something. I don't know if Carter saw him square around, but kind of threw that one outside a little bit. Maybe bunt that one foul down the first baseline, see if they go the same, see if they start Adams. I went with a slide step on that one. He tried to mix up his deliveries with that runner on first. We have seen the lefties be able to pick off a couple of runners, just that deceptive delivery to home every once in a while.
And there he got him. He throws to first, and now the throw, he's in a rundown, and he's going to get back to first base, and there's not a throw. They had him picked off, but Arkadelphia's made some mistakes in the past, and they're going to settle for getting him back to first base. Everyone involved, it looked like a well-run pickoff. But the captain of the infield is obviously Tate Goodrum, and he decides to err on the side of safety and just get the runner back to first. So 0-1 now to Weaver. We'll see if he tries the bunt again. Setting up outside is the catcher Hill. They're going to try a pitch out there, and it doesn't get the runner. He's going to get back. He wasn't moving. Evens the count now at a ball and a strike. Yeah, being a left-handed pitcher is definitely an advantage with a runner on first. There's a shot right back up the middle. That might be only one. It's going to be quick to get over. Ranging to his left is Tate Goodrum. He had one play, and that was to first. A nice scoop and toss, 6-3 for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Weaver essentially does his job with the tried to get the sacrifice Adams over to second with the bunt. Instead, it ends up being a chopper over the mound. And Goodrum, it wasn't hard enough it was right towards the bag, but not hard enough for Goodrum to be able to wait on it and step on the bag.
Tate makes a routine play for Tate Goodrum. That would have been a hard play for anyone else. So now the pitcher Golden going to come up with an out and a runner in scoring position at second base. Leadoff man Adams is there. And there's a pop-up on the right side. Getting under it is Ryan Harris. He's going to make a strong throw. The runner tags from second, and he'll slide in with no throw. Throw is cut off there. So now with 2 outs, out there battling that sun as he does in almost every ballpark is the right fielder, Ryan Harris. He's able to make a great play.
Yeah, this field is set up just like Arkadelphia. That sun setting in the face of the right fielder. Nice job by Ryan of using his right hand to shield the sun along with the cap and the glove and make that catch. Obviously, you're going to have a runner advance on that one.
So one of 2 seniors in the lineup is Logan Paul. And no, not the internet sensation Logan Paul. It's the Malvern version. There's a ball that's going to get by the catcher. It may have a play, and he does have a play, but he's called safe. Very close bang-bang play there as Carter Babb was covering. It ricocheted back to the catcher Hill just enough to get him a play, and it was a bang-bang play that goes Malvern's way. So the runner from third was Adams, and he's able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, a lot closer than it is most of the times when you have a pass ball. We talked about it in the top of the first. Malvern does get the run across a lot closer, but I do think the foot got in there just before the tag.
So 1-0 now to Paul. Bases are clear. There's a ground ball to shortstop Tate. He's up with it. Quickly to first base and on to Tucker for the 6-3 out. So Malvern does put a 1 spot on the board. They have half the Badger lead to 2-1. And so we're going to keep it right here for the half inning. Badgers will be back up here in the top of the second. Ryan Harris will lead things off. Tucker Johnson and Zane Hill to follow for Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia again coming in at 9-4 and 8-0 in the conference. That's the number that counts, Chris. And you know the rest of the conference looks a little bit jumbled up near the bottom, but at the top it's Fountain Lake and Arkadelphia that are holding all the cards.
Right, Arkadelphia 8-0, Fountain Lake 6-1. Fountain Lake, I believe, is supposed to play tomorrow. They'll play Friday, but then they also play another game on Monday. So they'll play their normal game tomorrow. Then they also play Monday in a makeup game against Hope, and then Arkadelphia plays. So this, when you take a look at pitch counts and depth and all of that, this is a big that Arkadelphia was able to get this game in today. Because if you play, it's in just another day, and then Fountain Lake, most likely, if schedules hold, is supposed to play tomorrow, but then also Monday again before the play on Tuesday. You look at the standings: Arkadelphia 8-0, Fountain Lake 6-1. Nashville had dropped 5 straight, but they've won 2 straight, so they're back to 500 at 4-4. They're playing at Bauxite tonight. They are a half game ahead of Bauxite in third place, and Bauxite is in fourth place at 4-5. Mina, Hope, DeQueen, and Malvern all down there trying to get to that 4th spot to qualify for the regional, which you mentioned will be here for both softball and baseball, May 5th, 6th, 7th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And that's the one you got to win that first game to qualify for the state tournament.
Ryan Harris now, the Badger senior right fielder. He'll be up, going to foul the first pitch. Back out of play over the right side. And, you know, even though Malvern is at the bottom of the standings, one of the conference wins that they do have is against Fountain Lake. So they can be dangerous. This is a conference where anyone can beat anyone on any given day. Here's the 0-1 count. And a swing and a miss. Good inside fastball.
Yeah, Golden has really had success on that inside part of the plate with the right-handed batters with Pentecost, Whitten, and now Harris.
So Rhino quickly in the hole, 0-2, and he's going to hit one to left center field. It may be going to be fielded by the center fielder, and he drifts over to his right and makes a routine play. That's Cooper over there. So Tucker Johnson now on. He's hitting .281, 489 on base, 9 hits, 6 RBIs on the year. He's crossed the plate 7 times. He's walked 8 times, struck out 7, has 1 stolen base, and has been hit by a pitch
75 times.
75 times, I believe.
Yep.
Swing and a miss to start things for the Badger senior first baseman. There's a little dribbler to the second baseman. Going to be hard to make it. He's going to come up with a play, and he's there 4-3 for the putout. Arkadelphia quickly down 2 outs here in the inning. And Zane Hill.
You know, if you look at the inning-by-inning breakdown of Arkadelphia this year, not very many runs in the first 3 to 4 innings, except for maybe a couple of games. Most of their damage has come in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. Most to this point this season. It happened at Boxside. It happened at DeQueen. It happened at home in the season opener. It happened against Malvern. A lot of these games, it's taken a couple innings for Arkadelphia to get going.
And a lot of that has to do with the opponent's pitching, leaving a pitcher out there a little too long. There's a pop-up on the infield. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop for Malvern to make the play, and that's Dalen Weaver. So 1-2-3 goes Arkadelphia in the top of the second inning. And we talked about the conference in detail there a few minutes ago, but, you know, the rest of 4A looks a little bit like our conference in that there's some front runners in each of these. In 4A1, Huntsville is 5-0, Valley View in the 3 is 9-0, Morrilton in the 4-0, Robinson in the 4A5 is 9-1, and Fairview in the 4A8 is 7-2. So all roads are going to lead through those guys right there when it comes time for the Badgers to work through region and state. We know they'll likely see a Fairview in the regionals if they were to get to the finals.
Yeah, you take a look at that 4A8, which Arkadelphia's conference is matched up against in basketball, baseball, softball. On the baseball side, right now Camden Fairview in first place at 7-2. Star City and Magnolia tied for second at 6-3. Monticello and Crossett tied for the 4th spot, tied for 4th at 5-3, and then Warren's just a game and a half back there. So still a lot to be determined. Neither conference having a district tournament this year. That's a little bit different for our 4A7. You know, obviously 2020 was different. 2021, no tournament. And they kept that this year, no tournament. So just the regular season, 14 double round robin, 14 games, and the top 4 make regional, which will be here. And the state tournament this year is set for Nashville.
So a couple of conference opponents hosting both the state and regional tournament. So here's the leading off things is Evan Myers. He's the first baseman. He's the 5-hole hitter for Malvern. He fouls the first pitch back.
Still 1-0 in softball, bottom of the second. 2 outs. 1-0 Malvern. I don't know if I said that or not.
Myers, a junior first baseman. He takes strike 2, so Babb working efficiently here in the bottom of the second. He's got an 0-2 lead on Myers.
Good 0-1 breaking ball there. Just kind of has a lot of movement and stands out there and just breaks into the zone.
0-2 pitch takes a little too much time for the batter, and Easton calls time and steps out. Myers, your prototypical first baseman, looks like probably a pretty good football player for the Leopards, and he swings at a nice pitch there that hugged the outside corner, and Babb working through the second inning.
It was a good fastball, breaking ball, fastball, just kind of mixing it up there to the 5-hole hitter. Good job of staying in the zone out there on the mound.
Tyson Cooper now, he's a senior, a center fielder. He's had a lot of playing time. We've seen this Leopard over the years many, many times, and steps in from the right side. He's dangerous from the plate always for Malvern. Here's the first pitch, swung on and missed, and Babb having great control here in the early going. Coach Jordan Knight down at third base and assistant Nick Watson over at first. Still in the shade looming a little closer towards shortstop now as sun starts to set just a bit to the west. Still no wind, a breeze, just a little bit of a breeze, very comfortable 70-degree and beautiful afternoon after much needed after a couple of days of bad storms. Hope everyone out there in our listening area didn't have too much damage. Saw a lot of trees down, and hope everyone's safe. Ball and 2 strikes now to the senior center fielder as Babb has worked efficiently here in the bottom of the second. 1 out, nobody on. Setting up on the outside just a little bit. There's a pop-up it's heading out to right field, and it's going to fall. And I don't think Ryan Harris saw it. The ball hit looked like almost even with him, maybe a little in front of him. I just don't think he saw it.
Well, combine the sun with probably a 60-yard run and the batting cage, the turtle, the pregame batting cage being out there. Those were a lot of obstacles to have to overcome to make that catch for Ryan.
Yeah, and don't forget, Ryan had a late start this year. All-state basketball player for Arkadelphia. Great season by the Badger Hoopers. There's another shot out of play down the right. So now Cooper getting to see a few pitches.
That one caught a vehicle, I believe. This used to be just behind the first base dugout. There's a parking lot. It used to be a baseball field, but they are parking vehicles on that. And I don't know if I'm glad I didn't park there. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and it just misses outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Cooper.
Good AB by Cooper, fighting off a couple that are in the zone, leaving those out that are out of the zone, and he's battled back after Babb had him down 0-2.
Cooper, the only other senior in the lineup, takes ball 3 at his feet, just barely misses him. He stood his ground in the box, but the ball just gets over his shoe tops for ball 3. So count's gone full here now. Arkadelphia's got an out in the inning and nobody on. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and it's just low. So
yeah, that's a good at bat from Cooper. Down 0-2. Babb he fought a couple off and then couldn't find the zone to even force him to try to put one in play.
Jace Wise now will be the third batter of the inning. Now with the runner on first. Wise, the junior left fielder. We'll see if he can bat, if he can do anything for Malvern in his first at bat. Big open stance. And there's a pop-up that may have room. Getting back there is Hill, but it will hit into the metal bleachers just to the right of us. Hill quickly off with the mask and navigating that downhill run there towards the screen. I remember back when the Badgers were playing here during the championship years of 13 and 14, before they did raise that, when a catcher would come back all the way to the screen, all you could see from second base of him was the top of his head.
Yeah.
That's how much of a drop there was.
Austin White threw out a runner with Jake Knight pitching. He threw out a runner stealing home when he released the ball. It's a good pitch.
That's an inside pitch that's awesome.
Jake Knight was pitching. Lefty was covering home. Austin White was standing. He released the throw at the top of his arc, and that ball went straight, and Jake Knight caught it 2 inches off the ground.
There's a pickoff move over there. The runner, Cooper, acted like he kind of wanted to go. He hesitated just a bit, but he's back in plenty of time standing up. No balls and 2 strikes now to Wise. There's another ball fouled off. I tell you, he's working that parking lot you're talking about over. If I were collecting foul balls over there and turning them in for a free piece of gum, I'd have a gum for a lifetime just here in the second inning.
You'd have a pocket full. You would have a pocket full.
All these right-handed batters way late, and they're fouling them off into that right field over the Badger dugout. Here's the pitch. Almost comes back in. Nice bending pitch there from Babb that starts out way outside the plate and comes back and almost catches the black.
Yeah, he started that one just about an inch too far outside. That broke nicely, just didn't quite break enough.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch. It sails high and outside, almost a throw. He reared back the catcher heel like he wanted to make that throw to first. Cooper quickly back to the bag. So another full count, second time in the inning for Babb.
Umpire does have 2-2.
Does have 2-2. So our scoreboard operator was right and the umpire was wrong. Cooper away from first, being held on over there. There's a pitch just outside, man. Babb wanted that one. You could tell he didn't make a big deal out of it, but he had a little bit of a lip poked out there. He wanted that 2-2 pitch. So now we go full, 3-2 to Jace Wise. And here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Bang, bang play, back over, not in time at first base. They had Cooper leaning a little bit, but not enough as Hill goes down. And 2 outs now in the inning, and big strikeout there for Carter Babb.
It was a big pitch. You know, you go 0-2 on the first batter with 1 out, you end up walking and you're ahead in the count 0-2, 1-2, and then you run the risk of walking a second straight. That was a big pitch. You need to get out of that rather than having first and second with 1 out and after giving 2 walks.
Here's Barber now, Jared Barber. He's the right fielder, a sophomore. Takes strike 1 from Babb, and still that runner is Cooper over at first. He drew a walk. He's the only base runner of the inning for Malvern. Another pitch that bends but doesn't break enough to get a called strike, so runs the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think that one might have broken it across just a little bit too low. Zane had to kind of backhand that one down just below the knees.
Swing and a miss. That ball sailed outside, and it started a little inside. That was just a nice pitch there.
Yeah, he's mixing up his delivery too. He's gone slide step a couple of times at first, gone with the leg kick, kind of had the batter off balance on that one.
Two balls and 2 strikes now as that one misses. Two-two pitch now. Just a bit of a piece of it, enough to get it back to the screen. Barber stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big spot here if you can avoid going 3-2.
Badgers have the top of the lineup back up, and we come back for the third. There's a ground ball that's hit not hard enough, and it just rolls up the arm of Goodrum. Not real sure if he was going to have that play or not. Just a dribbler that didn't get to him fast enough. He was playing back and gave all the run he could, but it just wasn't to be. So that should be an infield hit for Malvern, but I believe they're going to score it as an error. So now runners at first and second. The bottom of the lineup is Ben Rock. He's the second baseman and a freshman for Malvern. So big spot here for the young freshman with a runner in scoring position, 2 on base. The go-ahead runner at first base now, and batting with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Babb. Slows things down just a little bit. Took a little gas off of that one and gets the young freshman out in front. not held. Second baseman Witten kind of giving a little bit of a nod there towards the bag. There's a foul ball that on a curve ball. Babb ahead now 0-2.
He's been ahead the first 3 batters, but now you got to whatever you can throw to avoid getting back in that count at 2-2, 3-2.
Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Bottom of the second, Arkadelphia leading 2-1 here in Malvern. The pitch from Babb comes inside just a little bit. Hill was set up on the outside, and he crossed him up a little bit, just missing the inside of the plate. So
I think if Zane is set up inside and Carter hits the target, it might be strike 3, but they were trying to get outside. Carter came too much inside, and you're not going to get that one.
Swing and a miss on strike 3, and Carter Babb gets out of the inning unscathed as the Badgers hang on to that 2-1 lead here in Malvern. We are bringing you Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. We'll be back here in 30 seconds.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Top of the third now, Arkadelphia leading 2-1. Back to the top of the lineup, Tate Goodrum. Tate singled to lead things off in the first inning. And here he bats in the third.
That's a good pitch from Golden. Just didn't quite get the breaking ball. It's a nice breaking ball. Breaking in from the shoulder of Goodrum. Just didn't quite get the call from the umpire on that one. It was a good 0-1 pitch.
Got completely around on that and rocketed into the Malvern dugout. Leopard scattering. And Golden's ahead 1-2 now. Babb on deck. Campbell in the hole for Arkadelphia here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch from Golden. It's fouled away back over to that favorite spot off to the right.
Yeah, there's some cars over there right now. You might gradually see those cars disappear from that area.
I might want to go. You might want to move your vehicle if you're in the.
That might be the 11th or 12th foul ball that Arkadelphia has fouled off with 2 strikes.
I just hope somebody's bringing those balls back because there's a pitch that just drops low. Nice. Good eye there from Tate, as that was a hard one to take. It drops just a little low for ball 2.
That's one as the pitcher, you're like, come on, you got to give me that one.
And here's the 2-2. Outside, ball 3, gets away from the catcher, no runners on.
Another thing you got to think about here is when you're a pitcher and you're ahead in the count 0-2, 1-2, you're trusting your catcher a lot on a breaking ball, because if it does get past that catcher, that's going to end up being a reach first. So
exactly
that adds to it also.
Here's the 3-2 to Goodrum, and he watches ball 4 sail high. East and west, it looked good, just a little north.
Yeah, that's another one as a pitcher. Like, okay, I didn't get the bottom part of the zone, and I'm not going to get that one. This could be a tough one.
Babb walked in the first.
Carter's, you mentioned they've come on. Carter started the season batting in the 100s, and he's gotten his average up to 315. 314, something like that, close.
314. He's on base 455. He scored 13 runs, and he stole 6 bases. So getting his name in a lot of columns there. 2 balls, no strikes, and he's halfway to another base on balls. Arkadelphia figuring out that base runners is the key this second half of the season, getting a lot more base runners on. Not trying to do it all with one pitch. There's a swing and just missing.
Middle of third, still 1-0 Malvern in softball. Neither of these teams, we've had 3 or 4 hits, but nobody has really gotten good contact off either of these pitchers to this point. A couple of bloops, some ground ball, an infield hit. Neither team has gotten really good solid contact yet.
No, we had a Texas leaguer out there in right center field back in the first inning that dropped down for Malvern, and a fly out to the center fielder, Cooper, in the second inning, I believe. But other than that, nothing's even made it out of the infield. And again, Babb was thinking it was ball 4. He didn't throw the bat, but he headed to first, and the home plate umpire said, nope, come back. But in the process, stealing second was Tate Goodrum, so now a runner in scoring position and no outs.
Again, you got to protect if you're going to do that the second time at bat. And
Babb
he fell off again.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Same thing happened in this first at bat, except you mentioned he did throw the bat towards the dugout, thinking it was ball 4. And now you better, if you can get a boat paddle to it, you better try to put the bat on it.
Yeah,
or you will be sent back to the dugout with your bat.
He probably didn't make the home plate umpire's Christmas card list so far this year, but we'll see. Away from second is Goodrum. He's the leadoff of the inning. There's a shot to second base, going to get Goodrum to third. Coming up with it for the 4-3 putout is the freshman second baseman, Rock.
Yep, nice, easy one hopper to Rock there. Just another not a very hard hit ball from either team. Tripp has the ability to change that, as we've seen him. Had a nice home run to right center field the other night.
There's an outside pitch to the left-handed hitting Campbell that is strike 1. 90 feet away is Goodrum.
A lot of room in left center and over the left fielder's head, too.
Only 1 out, so a fly ball to the outfield should score Goodrum. So we're looking for obviously a base hit to keep things going, but a sacrifice would play to run and give Arkadelphia a little bit more cushion. There's a ground ball that hits between first and second, and no one is there. And so a seeing eye ground ball for Tripp Campbell is going to score the run, and Badgers now leading 3-1. Nice at bat there by Campbell as he singles an RBI.
It's one of those, the first baseman, it came back to cover the bag, and if he makes maybe the diving attempt at it, he might have, be able to get at least try to get a glove on that. I think Tate would have scored regardless.
Here's Jarrett Bell. He sacrificed on a ground ball to first baseman, did drive in a run, the first run of the ball game back in the first. So with a runner at first and 1 out, he takes strike 1. And from the stretch, Golden going back over. A nice pickoff. That wasn't very far from being a pretty good play there.
Yeah, I would look at the umpire. It must not have been as close as we thought, because he just kind of made a
nonchalantly
safe signal.
That's Tripp Campbell over there at first base. There's a dribbler in front of the plate. Man, that's about as – and the ball gets away. It's thrown to first. The first baseman cannot stay on the bag and reach the ball. He doesn't. He chooses to stay on the bag, and the ball gets by him out into right field. So an error on the first baseman. Actually, that may be an error on the catcher. The first baseman gave it all he had. He just couldn't stretch out quite far enough to get it.
It brought him off the bag, and that's tough for that first baseman. Here, it's looking right at the sun. Also, that's just a play. You give teams outs, and it really hurts if they take advantage of them.
Pentecost struck out back in the first, but a big spot here is another runner in scoring position. Campbell goes all the way to third on that errant throw from the catcher, Adams, and now Bell at first and Campbell at third. Runners on the corner for Arkadelphia. One out, leading 3-1 here in Malvern, top of the third. 1-0 pitch to the Badger third baseman is taken for strike one. That's a low fastball, that a little low for the taste, not quite what Wynn wanted. So now the count even in a ball and a strike. There's another ball. Foul back off to the right side, and see his back foot kind of bailing out a little bit, and that's part of the reason a lot of those balls are hit back out to the right side is his back foot seems to be bailing out a little bit on the swing. 1-2 now. Outside pitch just misses. Count goes even. Badgers next week, a big week as they start things off on the road at Fountain Lake on Tuesday. They come back home for the Night of Champions on Friday against Nashville at Southern Bancorp Field in Arkadelphia. So join us on the air for a 5 o'clock pitch from Fountain Lake on Tuesday, and then join us at the ballpark for Night of Champions. Any state champions from Arkadelphia, welcome to attend and be recognized. There's an outside ball 4 as bases now are juiced for the Badgers, and a guy that can certainly make you pay working his way up, and that's going to draw.
Yeah, it's going to draw the coach out. Donovan here in a big spot. He struggled the other night from the plate. He had a strikeout, I believe, his first time at bat. So just stay with it, put the bat on the ball, put the ball in play, and more often than not, if you can put the ball in play, make the defense make a play, that's what you want to do. If they make the play, hats off to them. But put the ball in play, make them make something happen to get out of the inning.
So 1 out now, and Witten up for the Badgers. Witten hitting .333. He gets on base again, like we said, more than anybody for Arkadelphia. He's over 600 on base percentage. No one else for Arkadelphia breaking 5 or less, more than 6 other than Witten. So a big chance here to drive in some runs, as he's also got good numbers across across the line, Chris, but he only has 4 RBIs on the year, so this is a good chance to pick up a couple right here. And stealing home from third is Campbell. He's in there. Going over to third is Bell. He's safe. What a play, Arkadelphia stealing home.
Manufacturing a run. Donovan Whitten squared around, and Tribb just went on a straight steal. Donovan kind of got in the way. It was an outside pitch, and Tripp Campbell, nice job getting down the line.
And alertly, Bell takes third base. Now runners at the corners. Badgers leading 4-1. And I tell you what, Chris.
I like the play because we've had some times when we had bases loaded and runners in. We just haven't been able to get them home. And so now you manufacture one. And I think that caught everybody by surprise.
High fly ball out into left field. That one's going to get foul, but a long strike.
I'm glad to see I'll take that. Over the last couple of games, glad to see Donovan be able to get good contact on the ball. That was the hardest hit ball we've seen today. Donovan turned on that one. So maybe just that one contact. You feel back in your groove. You can put something in play.
The last couple of years, Donovan really came into his own in his body. His body has really grown. He's gotten strong, and a lot of times players just need a little bit of time to get their body used to that swinging that bat.
That bat would have looked like a boat paddle on him a couple of years ago. Now it looks like a toothpick.
2 balls and a strike now. Runners at the corners for Arkadelphia. There's a foul ball that's off to that favorite spot over there, off to the right. So even now is Witten at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Shadow's now reaching all the way from the third base dugout all the way to second base. So a little bit of shade coming on one side of the field, still really bright, and there's a shot into center field. It's going to get right to the center fielder, Cooper, and the runner will score from third. That's Bell tagging for the third run of the inning, and Arkadelphia is again manufacturing runs on a sac fly from Donovan
It
Whitten.
was a nice contact, good play by the center fielder. Just to be able to judge that with a nice line drive, good. That's what you need. You got a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Just put something in the outfield, get him home, and that's exactly what Donovan Whitten did. And that might be an at-bat that kind of gets him back, after that last game where he was a little bit frustrated from the plate. Like to see that. It was good.
5-1 Badgers.
Good pitch from Golden right there.
Juice up to bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And he's 0 for 1 right now in the count, with a runner at first. Swing and a miss is Harris. He's now behind in the count, 0-2. 2 outs, and the runner at first base is Wynn Pentecost. Arkadelphia has plated 3 in the inning, 2 back in the first for a 5-1 lead. Here's the 0-2. It's grounded to the shortstop. He's going to have a zip it across first, and he's not in time. The speedy Harris beats it out down the line. Nice hustle by Juice there to beat that throw out, and that was a routine on most days.
You got Pentecost on first as well. He hustled down the line, so the shortstop really had to, didn't go there. And then Ryan just got down the line quickly, and it forced the shortstop to make a quicker throw than he was expecting, and drew first baseman off the bag.
So a 4-3 put out in the first inning. Tucker Johnson is up. He'll come back up with now a runner in scoring position, 2 out. He swings at the first pitch for strike 1. Harris at first, Pentecost at second.
I want to see Tucker here go opposite field, right center, or right field. Or that.
And there is a check swing. He tried to hold it up, but instead he pokes it right at the right side. First baseman comes over for a 1-3 put out, and the Badgers are gone.
Bless his heart.
That was just an unlucky inside pitch that hit the bat and stayed fair instead of foul. Arkadelphia does some damage. Another crooked number up here in the third inning. It's 5-1 Badgers as we head to the bottom of the third inning here at Malvern.
Middle of fourth, still 1-0 Malvern. Behind us at the softball field, we mentioned earlier that Malvern and Arkadelphia in softball are battling for that third and fourth spot. Malvern's a game and a half in front of the Arkadelphia Lady Badgers in softball. So big game for both of these teams as they try to qualify for that 4A7. For the 4A South Regional, representing the 4A7 as we pull up the softball standings. As we mentioned, Bauxite 8-0, Nashville 7-1. They play today. They're playing right now up in Bauxite. Mina is in third place at 6-3, and right now Malvern is 5-4 in that fourth spot. Arkadelphia a game and a half behind Malvern there in fifth spot. Arkadelphia 8-8 overall in softball, and young squad. Rayleigh Jones does most of the work in the circle. Gracie Simpson, Brianna Eddington, the only 2 seniors on the squad. And so they'll have a good nucleus returning next year for Coach Kuhn.
And Badgers out taking their defensive positions here for the bottom of the third as the Leopards are now back up to the top of the order. And here's the sophomore catcher, Hunter Adams.
Adams reached on the Texas Leaguer to right center to lead off the bottom of the first for the Leopards. Fastball caught the left leg of the umpire as it bounced inside and got past Zane Hill. And Adams is ahead in the count 1-0 to lead off the bottom of the third. A little square around a bunt. Don't know if he was had any intention. Probably just trying to get ahead in the count 2-0, but nice strike for Bab to even the count at 1-1. Nice charge at third by Pentecost in case the bunt was laid down.
Everybody playing back in the infield except for Pentecost, and he's hugging that infield grass in anticipation of a bunt. It's still just a 2-1 count. There is that possibility with still a strike to give.
Lots of rain these last couple of days, but the tarps are wonderful things. They do their job nicely, and it's a nice playing surface here at Malvern today.
There's a ground ball hit to Tate up the middle. He's going to gobble it up, bobble just a bit, and a nice throw over to first base.
Nice stretch by Tucker Johnson.
Nice play there. Those are two seniors that are all conference for a reason, Chris, and they have been a good connection this year. Nice 6-3 6-3 play to start off the inning with one out here.
Well, Goodrum caught it on that second hop, kind of handcuffed him a little bit, did the little spin move, and was still able to get the nice throw to Tucker. Tucker did a nice job of reaching up to his left and keeping that foot on the bag.
Dalen Weaver now, the shortstop, will be the second batter of the inning, and missing a little low, popping up off the surface and by Hill for ball one. One ball and no strikes here. Weaver, a junior. There's a hard hit ball. That one's going to get to Tate a little quicker. He comes up, nice throw over, and that one's made easy. And Weaver, I saw him after he tried to leg out a ground ball in the first inning, in the first inning, and he come up a little lame, and he's still hobbling a little bit. You can tell he's really favoring that left side.
It was a nice play by Tate. Just sat back on it and knew how much time he had, but fielded it and caught it all in one motion to get that throw from the deep shortstop.
So 6-3 goes the third inning here for Arkadelphia, and they're 2 outs to the good now with Golden the pitcher. Outside, ball one. Badgers on top, 5-1 here. Bottom of the third from Malvern. Beautiful day for baseball. 1-0 the count to the Leopard pitcher. Inside pitch. Nice one. You made the comment earlier, Chris. Pitchers can live right there and make a good living today.
They can. He's given that inside part of the plate, especially on that right-handed batter. And outside to the left.
Ball and a strike. There's a shot. That's going to get down for the first base hit, and there's a runner aboard for the Leopards as it gets into center field. Quickly in is Campbell, but the Leopards are on the bags here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
Nice hard hit ball from Tyler Golden, helping his own cause. 2-strike approach. He caught that one, was right down the middle, just to put the barrel on the bat, found the hole in center field, and was able to extend the inning to Paul.
Paul, the DH, is up with 2 outs in the inning. Golden active over at first base and drawing the attention of Hill. No throw. Tucker holding him on. The left-handed Bab is not opposed to making a throw over there. We'll see if he does so. There's a pop-up on the infield, and ranging back, gets at the edge of the grass as Whitney makes the play for the third out of the inning. And the Badgers have now closed the last 2 innings without a run, and they lead it 5-1. We're going to stay right here through the break. And I want to thank a couple of our sponsors during football, Chris, and they do a great job. They're on the football sponsorship. But this is not football season. This is baseball season. But what it is it is tax season. And we want to thank our friends at Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler. This is their busy time of the year. We don't get to talk about that during football season, but we want to really thank them when it's really a hard time for them. And those guys and ladies over there are busting their you-know-whats to get things done by April the 15th. And we appreciate their sponsorship of Badger Athletics, as well as Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone. Those folks over there do it as well. I know that the Eccles-Thompson group has been Badger supporters since 1975, and as well as Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler. So we want to wish them a happy tax day this next week, and we appreciate their sponsorship of Badger Athletics.
Yeah, not a good combination being an accountant and love baseball, because there are not many times you get to come out and watch. And I know that on our broadcasts of Arkadelphia, especially in the spring, we get notes from them that probably someone's sitting at the office right now doing someone's taxes, keeping up with the Badgers and Lady Badgers today.
Well, and if those folks aren't here at the ballpark and listening to the game, I bet they're watching it and listening to it from their office, because they are really busy right now, and we want to be sure and show our appreciation for them. All right, starting things off in the top of the fourth, we are at the bottom of the lineup. Zane Hill batting here in the fourth.
Now they're have a little delay here as the coaches are talking to Dalen Weaver at shortstop, making sure he's good to go out there, and looks like Weaver is. That's good to see.
He was the one hobbling after that ground ball. He tried to beat out in the first, and he noticeably again trying to ground it out. He's limping here was in the bottom of the third. Top of the fourth now, Arkadelphia with that 5-1 lead. They scored 2 in the first and 3 in the third.
You know, Zane the other night really got that after against Bauxite, after Goins had hit the 3-run homer that touched the moon and then dropped over the fence. It was 7-6, and Zane really got that inning going, the 6-run, 6th inning for Arkadelphia going with a double to left field.
And there's a swing and a miss, strike 2 now. He's up behind the count 1-2. A little late on that. He had a little indecision, you could tell. A little late.
3-0 now Malvern in the softball game as they are in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Zane, one of the faster Badgers, and he's obviously very athletic as a sophomore catcher. Won the job last year and played most of the season as a freshman. Very athletic young man and hitting the ball very well. There's a poke. That one may get down out into right field, and it is. Right fielder cannot get there in time, so another one of those Texas leaguers that drops in front of the right fielder, and the leadoff batter is on for Arkadelphia once again, and we're back to the top. And Tate Goodrum, who singled and walked, and he's back up in the fourth.
Oh, you mentioned Texas leaguer. I sure was glad to see that minor league baseball went back to the old school names. Arkansas Travelers are now back in the Texas League, and it was just whatever Major League Baseball had deemed it. Has nothing to do with right now, but I was just glad to see that.
Well, you know, there's some talk about the Travs, and there's Tate's hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
So now we've got the first 2 Badgers on. Bab up again with a chance to help his cause here in the fourth. Yeah, you know, they talked about the Travelers may actually be moving, and not because of anything the city of North Little Rock's doing wrong. It's all about Major League Baseball and the things that
Major League Baseball's doing wrong. Let's count the ways. It's a deal where Major League Baseball has said that all their minor league facilities have to improve their facilities, which is not a bad thing, but it's awfully tough for some of these facilities and towns and teams to come up with the millions of dollars that Major League Baseball has said that they want them to invest.
Here's Bab. He's going to
that's over
foul
the softball
one
field.
over to the softball field. So now finally the left side of the end of the foul territory gets a little bit of love as fouls one off to the lefty, fouls one off to the left side.
3-0 Malvern in softball in the top of the fourth.
City of Hot Springs has just built a fabulous facility, Majestic Park, and, you know, a lot of money to be spent over in Hot Springs. There's a nice bunt laid down. The runners were on the move, and Bab, though he's not able to make it to first, does advance the runners and does his job. Now with 1 out, the 2 runners in scoring position, nice sacrifice bunt laid down by Carter Bab.
Yeah, so they had a couple of good bunts the last few weeks, and that one he did the job, advanced the runners, drew a throw, and there's not anybody else you'd rather have up right now with 2 runners in scoring position than Trip Campbell if you're a Badger fan.
And they are. Over at third is Zane Hill. At second is –
and I misspoke earlier. It's 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning in softball. Malvern Lady Leopards lead Arkadelphia.
Ball game moving very quickly over there on the softball field. Foul ball to start the at-bat, 0-1 to Campbell. Campbell has singled twice. He's 2 for 2, and he's got an RBI on the day. He's already leading the team in average at 450. Has 18 hits. That also leads the team. And 20 now for Campbell. There's an outside pitch, ball 2 to run the count 2-1. Bell on deck for Arkadelphia.
When he gets contact, that ball just comes off the bat differently.
And Tripp, another one of those guys that has really blossomed, and his physique gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger. Injured a lot of the football season with a bad knee. Seems to be healed up, so very much leading this team. And he draws a walk now to load the bases again.
Might have been an intentional walk that time from Golden. You don't want, in that situation, you don't want to, if you're Golden, you don't want to groove anything to Tripp Campbell when you can load the bases and set up a double play.
JB's been up twice today. He's 0 for 0. Doesn't have actually has a sacrifice back in the first inning and reached by error in the third. There's a shot out into center field. That's going to get running back, and making the catch back there is Cooper. It's long enough to score a run and advance the runner to third. And Arkadelphia now with runners on the corners, and Bell again, his second sacrifice and his second RBI of the day.
Just get runners home. Arkadelphia has done a good job today of getting runners home. Manufactured runs. You had a steal of home by Tripp Campbell. You had here in the top of the fourth, you have a sacrifice fly. You had one in the third. So Arkadelphia has done a good job of getting runners home when they had the chance. Donovan Whitten was the one who did that last inning.
Pentecost struck out, and he's been walked. Almost got hit by a pitch there as he starts the at-bat and a ball and no strikes. Badgers have...
It's got to be close to 80 to 85 pitch count for Golden's got to be getting up there.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, in this game, and there's a shot down, running to second base and stealing the bag and trying to maybe draw a throw and the third, but no dice. We got runners in scoring position now twice as Campbell steals the base to second.
It's a big hit, big AB here for Wynn.
Yeah, Wynn not had much contact today. He has reached by a walk, like we said, and struck out at time, and now he had 3-0. That would load the bases again, and the dangerous Whitten lurking in the on-deck circle. He's taking all the way, ball 4 on 4 pitches, and all of a sudden Golden's got Badger trouble again here in the bottom of the fourth, top of the fourth.
Big spot, sorry to interrupt you, Blake. Big spot for both these. Golden's one pitch from getting out of this. You know, it's 6-1. You're one pitch from getting out of it. Arkadelphia also is a base hit from Donovan Whitten to making it 8-1. So big spot here for both teams, kind of, halfway through this game.
Whitten struck out in the first, did sacrifice a run in the third, back up here in the fourth. Again with the bases loaded. Goodrum at third, Campbell at second, Pentecost at first. 0-1 count. And stepping back is Whitten. Now from the windup is Golden. 0-1 pitch inside. Holding his ground, but not far enough to draw to get Jersey. Now ball and a strike.
Jerseys are tight enough that it's not going to catch any spare material.
No. There's a nice pitch. That one started out in about his belt line and went right down into the strike zone. Breaking pitch is strike 2. So here's the pitch to Whitten. There's a foul ball that's not going to get quite to the parking lot, but it is going to be foul enough to be out of play, and he stays alive.
Golden went back to that curveball. Whitten just didn't see it well on that the 1-1 pitch. And Golden tried to go back there. Whitten did a nice job of fighting it off. Big, good strategy battle between these two right here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's called strike 3 on the outside. Whitten didn't like it. Leaves the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth, but Arkadelphia does plate 1 and now lead the Malvern Leopards 6-1 here going into the 5th inning from Malvern.
Bottom of 4th.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, bottom of the 4th.
We'll take it though.
We're not at home.
No.
Again, Arkadelphia on the road next week to start at Fountain Lake on Tuesday, then back home Friday for big contest with the Nashville Scrappers.
Nashville in Bauxite tonight. That game was going to start at 6 o'clock, so they are just underway in Bauxite.
And a happy Good Friday to everyone, and a happy Easter this Sunday to everyone out there, all our Badger faithful. I wish everyone a happy holiday. I hope the holiday weekend is as beautiful as it is here right now in Malvern. It is a sunny 70 degrees and
yeah, it's not looking like
not
that.
a cloud in the sky.
Not looking like it's going to be sunny and 70 on Saturday or Sunday. A little more rain in the forecast potentially. Hopefully that'll change.
Babb back out for his 4th inning of work, and Yenfield give him a little encouragement. Disperse back to their positions, and so we go to the 4th, and Evan Myers now, first baseman, to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th. Myers a little too long for his liking as he steps out. There's a couple more practice swings, and he's back in. The inside a little bit high.
Still 3-0 in softball, middle of the 5th. Arkadelphia in the top of the 5th had 2 on and 1 out. Couldn't get one home, so Malvern preserves the shutout.
There's a pitch that gets the outside, a nice pitch there, and not one most batters are going to swing at. Looks like a little outside, but Babb gets the call, evens it up. 1-1 early on here, bottom of the 4th. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch, curveball that misses.
Frustrated with himself several times on that curveball. He's had the break, just hasn't started it out high enough to let it to give it a chance, and batters aren't going to offer at it if it breaks that early.
2 balls and a strike now to the first baseman, junior first baseman Myers for Leopards. Outside, ball 3. Babb's had very good control here so far.
Umpire said 2-2, but I do think it's 3-1.
It is 3-1. And that should be strike 2, and it is. So 3 balls against 2 strikes, a full count here, starting things off bottom of the 4th. Badgers leading 6-1 here from Montgomery Park in. There is an inside pitch that just misses, so a leadoff walk. And Myers is on here in the 4th. Cooper now, he's got to walk back in the 2nd inning. So Arkadelphia now has Malvern has a leadoff runner on. There's a ball that gets by Hill, and he just short-armed that one. That was almost a strike. I think it might have been a little high, but definitely a pass ball to get the runner to second base now. And if you're going to short-arm one, this is not the place to do it as a catcher. The ball that sails just outside the strike zone. He could not get Cooper to fish. And so now it's 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, 2-0, again outside. I'm starting to see Babb have a little bit of control issue. We'll see if we get a visit here in a minute, maybe to calm him down a little bit and give him a second to regroup. 3-1 to Cooper. There's a strike. So again, he draws it back to a full count. We'll see if he can finish Cooper off here and keep the first two Leopards off base.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, that was the first. Yeah,
Well,
so 3-1.
3 balls and 1 strike. Strike 2, nice. Right on the outside black, and Babb gives it a little head nod. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. I like to get those corners. We'll see if he gets it on 3-2. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Nice strikeout, nice pitch that floated just out of the reach of Cooper. And the first out is on the books here in the bottom of the 4th. Nice, nice pitching sequence there by Babb as he lost the first runner or the batter of the inning, but comes back nicely with Cooper.
That's good. 3-1. You got that call. You go right back there. The batter has to go after it just a little bit too far outside, especially when you have that open stance.
Wise, the left fielder, he struck out back in the 2nd. And now there's a shot out in the left field. Bell charging in. He should get there. He does. Quick throw back to 2nd. Not in time. And heady play out there by JB as he ranges in to his left, makes the play on the run, and makes it a little bit of a fairly close play at second base, but back in is Myers. So 2 outs now, and Barber the hitter, sophomore right fielder, runner at second base. He's been there for a couple of at-bats now, and Barber fouls that one back into the popular right side parking lot. A lot of shadows now, but still not helping that first baseman or right fielder as Juice and Tucker are still squinting away. There's a ball that again gets by Hill, and he's going to let the runner get to third base. Again, a pass ball, just not sure if the movement of the pitch or the, you know, it's not that he doesn't see lefties very much, because the 2 of the 3 regular rotation are lefties, so can't use that as an excuse. Ball and strike now. We'll see if Babb can get out of it. And man, nice pitch. Again, using that outside, he takes it a little bit down the ladder, but it's still enough to get strike 2. Babb now with the runner at third and a 1-2 count on the batter. Swing and a miss, and he gets out of the inning. Nice work by Carter Babb as he gets himself out of the inning. Gave up the 1 leadoff walk. The runner got all the way to third on a couple of pass balls, but he's stranded there as the Badgers take care of business here with, in the bottom of the 4th, 6-1 the score. And a nice job by Carter Babb.
Yeah, I think that second out was the one that really made him feel good. He kind of gave a little half walk around the mound, saying, I feel good about that one, to come back and get that after you're behind in the count 3-1. You get the called strike 2, you get a swing and a miss for that second out. He started feeling good, got ahead in the count on that last batter, 1-2, and didn't get the full count. So did a nice job of finishing it off after getting it 1-2. So now Arkadelphia is going to go 9-1-2 again.
Actually going to be Harris, Johnson, and Hill. So we're 7-8-9.
I was close. I was only 2
close
off.
Close enough. We'll take that. But, yeah, Juice Harris, Tucker Johnson, and Zane. And it looks like, are we going to have the same pitcher? And
yeah,
I believe we are.
Golden's still in.
Golden's going to go back out for another inning of work. Talking to some of the Malvern folks here earlier before the game. Not a deep pitching team this year for Malvern. They lost a lot of pitching last year, and really expecting their starters to go 5+.
Yeah,
and that's hard to do a lot of times.
You think, look at Arkadelphia. There's not a. You take a look at this year's team. There's not a senior that has pitched considerable innings.
Yeah,
three juniors and a couple of sophomores.
And you look at your, you look at your 7, 8, 9 hitters for Arkadelphia. They're batting 333, 281, and 421.
Yeah.
When your 9-hole hitter's hitting 421, that's just not a break for a pitcher.
It was a tough 0-1 call not to get there from Golden. Must be on the bottom part, but he's been consistent. That spot has not been a strike all day, although as a pitcher you sure would like to get it.
1-1 now to Juice. Swings and pops it up. That one going to be short left field. The shortstop going out, he gives it up, and the calling him off was the left fielder, Wise, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning.
The next batter for Arkadelphia will be the first baseman, number 10, Tucker Johnson.
Johnson grounded out 4-3 in the second inning and then had that little oopsie daisy, couldn't get out of the way and dribbled it to the first baseman back in the third. He and Juice the only batters not to bat in the fourth, so Johnson 0-2 today, and first pitch foul back. Second pitch foul back. Tucker hitting 281, not the year he had last year, but he still gets on base a lot. He's going to take strike 3 there, dropped by the catcher, but he tags Tucker. So looking at strike 3, Tucker's 0-3 on the day. Zane Hill. Zane single back in the fourth inning. There's a ground ball to the third baseman on the first pitch. It's across, and a nice stretch over there by the first baseman, Myers, and the Badgers go 1-2-3 here in the top of the fifth. Well, only the second inning that Arkadelphia has come up empty, and both times it was a 1-2-3 inning. And so the Badgers will have the top of the lineup up when they come up in the sixth. Babb back out for the bottom of the fifth. He's given up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error for Arkadelphia. Very efficient day for Carter Babb, and a little bit of trouble by walking that leadoff batter in the last inning, but he worked his way out of it. Carter Babb has thrown 66 pitches, which is not too many for 4 innings of work.
Middle of the 6th inning in softball, still 3-0 Malvern.
Arkadelphia with 5 seniors this year. They all start and play for Arkadelphia and have all season. Tate Goodrum, obviously the captain of the infield, all-conference player a year ago, committed to Henderson State University. His mate on the left side of the infield is Wynn Pentecost. Over at first base is also a all-conference player from a year ago, Tucker Johnson. And then the outfield corners, Jarrett Bell in left and Ryan Harris in right, makes for pretty veteran team for Arkadelphia. And then you've got a couple of juniors or 3 juniors, 1 on the mound in Babb, the second baseman Witten, and the all-conference and league leader, team leading in just about every category is Trip Campbell out in center. Only underclassman behind the plate, and that's Zane Hill. Ball and a strike now to first batter of the inning, and that is the 9-hole hitter, Ben Rock. He's the the second baseman, a freshman. He bats here, foul ball off to the right side. That one will.
Ball knocked a stick out of the net.
Boy, a lot of pine trees around here. You can see the
I'm
yellow
glad
pollen.
I'm glad we got that rain the other day. We've been sniffling even more than we are already.
Man, you can still see these pine trees, these mature pines around the ballpark here. Still have a lot of that yellow stuff up in them. And there's a strikeout swinging by Rock. And, you know, Babb continues to hit the strike zone and be efficient. And
now you're back to the third time around the order for Malvern. This is where, you know, gradually over the course of a season, pitchers get longer. This will be one of those things if Carter can break through that third time around the order.
Yeah, Adams topped the lineup. He singled in the first and grounded to Tate Goodrum back in the third. And with one out here in the bottom of the fifth, this ball game is zipping along quite quickly as well. We're an hour and 27 minutes into it.
You just jinxed it, Blake.
Nah. The ground ball, and may just have as it gets through the left side between short and third for a one-out single.
I don't believe in announcer jinxes when it comes to performance on the field, but I do when it comes to talking about the game.
Weaver now, the shortstop. He grounded out 6-3 as well back to Tate in the third inning. Now with a runner aboard. We'll see if Babb can. And there's the pickoff move over to first base, and Adams is not fooled. 6-1 here, bottom of the fifth inning. Arkadelphia has put. There's a pitch outside that gets away from Hill. It's going to get the runner down to second base. So ball one to Weaver is a ball that gets to the backstop and gets the run in scoring position for Malvern. One oh as the runner's away from second. Outside corner again. Good strike. Good placement there by Babb for the first strike. 1-1 the count to Weaver.
Again, he's given those pitchers the outside part of the plate plus an inch or two or three.
Weaver, big wide open stance as he stands in the right side. And there's a shot up the middle. That's going to possibly score a run. Coming up with the gun. And there is a play that is going to get him at home. Dropped the ball in the transfer.
Coach Knight was holding him up. He just ran through a stop sign, and that was a shot from Trip Campbell. That's why Coach Knight was holding up the runner. He just ran right through that stop sign, and that was a tremendous shot from Trip Campbell. Nice tag by Zane Hill to get that second out. Now, Weaver with that nice base hit does end up at second base.
So a nice play, and you know we talked about the leadership and that center fielder out there being an all-conference young man. That's reason, and you'll probably see it, if not more accolades this year.
Now Coach Knight's going to ask if he dropped the ball, and the home plate umpire is going to say he dropped it way after the tag. He's going to at least ask because he dropped the ball, but the home plate umpire, that was significantly after the tag. When that ball came out, because Zane Hill went to take it out of his hand to throw to Carter Babb, and the ball came out.
You see that a lot of times on double play balls when the short or second baseman takes the relay and
or maybe he's asking, was there a blocking? You know, he's pointing to center field. Maybe he's asking if there was obstruction by the catcher. You know, when you have someone thrown out like that, you've got to try anything
Sure.
you can get to maybe count. But the umpire did not initially, signal it at all. And I don't think this one's going to go Coach Knight's way, but I'd try it too.
Really, the only thing that could have been in question from our vantage point is did Zane actually apply the tag, because the ball was actually thrown a little bit high. He had to get off his feet a little bit, and then a sweeping tag about 2 steps from home plate looked to be applied, but
Yeah.
that could have been the only argument. But I agree, as a coach, you got to try everything you can. But 2 outs now. The runner is at second base, and the pitcher Golden, he's going to bloop one out into foul territory and almost a fair ball. The the first base coach for Malvern thought it was a fair ball.
He's going to try it too. You know, that's tough because most fields are going to have that drop down right after that lip, and there is a spot there where the home plate umpire is not going to be able to see. I thought that was
look fair from here, but
from here.
There's a shadow out there, and there's also a little bit more of a distinguished drop off that first baseline dirt as it turns to grass down the foul line.
There was no real argument from the first base coach, though.
No. Fouled away now for the second strike, and
that's a lot of times how you can tell if you're not in a good angle if the base coach offers a little bit more protest than what there was. So it must have been foul, and you're going to try to get that call. Might as well. Heck, point fair.
exactly.
I would have done it.
Here's the 0-2. Strike 3, and he rings him up. Shazam, there they go. That's 3 outs and another strikeout for Babb, as, again, scoreless here in the bottom of the 5th.
It was a good it's just a matter of a pitcher hitting the target right there. Zane Smith set up on the outside part of the black of that plate. Carter hit that target, and it was a good pitch.
You know, as a pitcher, there's a lot of things that drive you crazy. You know, drop fly balls, foul balls that could have been caught. But there's nothing that makes you feel any more encouraged than a throw like Trip Campbell just had in to throw that runner out at home, especially when it will walk, or a base hit issued, and throw him out at the plate to keep a run off the board. So nice play there, and Arkadelphia showing why they're one of the better defensive teams in the state, and ranked as high as they are. Number 6, I believe, in 4A right now are the Badgers, and earning their keep today here in Malvern as they lead it 6-1 over the Leopards as we go to the 6th. And back to the top of the Arkadelphia lineup is Tate Goodrum. He has singled in the first. He was walked in the third, hit by a pitch in the fourth, so he's 1 for 1 today. Senior shortstop seeing his 4th at bat of the day, and again, it's going to be Golden out there for the Leopards. We talked earlier, the Leopards a little low on pitching this year, graduated a lot of their pitchers last year, and just not a lot of experience out there. Most of these pitchers haven't pitched until this year, and you throw a COVID year in there for some of those underclassmen and some, missing some quality time and their late Little League years and Babe Ruth years, and I tell you, that's hard to overcome, especially for a pitcher to take a year off or more and then be able to come up here and play varsity baseball in one of the toughest conferences in the state. And for the second time in as many innings, Goodrum is hit by a pitch. So 4 times at the plate, 4 times to first base is Tate Goodrum, and he shows you why he's the leadoff hitter for Arkadelphia. Carter Babb now, he's been walked in the first. He grounded to the second baseman in the third. Sacrifice bunt in the fourth that scored a run. And he fouls this pitch off as Goodrum was moving to second base. Not sure if that was a hit and run, but he'll make the retreat back to first. And Babb now here in the top of the 6th. Inside pitch, fisting, but he gets it out into the sunshine in right field. The catch is made out there by the right fielder Barber, and so first out of the inning is issued. No advance, of course, for we've got a new right fielder Okay. Actually got a new right fielder.
Half play for Arkadelphia, the center fielder, number 12, Trip Campbell.
Campbell going to send that one into high center field. Under it is Cooper, and he makes the play. So the first time that Campbell has been retired today as he flies out to center fielder Cooper, and now JB will be hitting, but not before Coach Jordan Knight makes a trip out to the mound to talk to his pitcher, and that may just be all for.
It looked like he pointed
Golden.
to Weaver. I don't know if that means Weaver's coming in, but it looked like he pointed to Weaver with 2 outs. So it could be just conversation. I believe I just heard 99 pitches on the day for Golden. And then the assistant coach did come in with the lineup card, and the home plate umpire is writing something down. So it will be all for Golden, and it looks like he and Weaver will just swap positions. Okay.
Yeah, no, we've got a young man out of the dugout now, so out of the bullpen, and that is going to be Kalen Janelle. Keelan. All right. Keelan Janelle is the new pitcher. Looks like everyone.
Golden went to short. Weaver went to third. And third came out. Janelle might have been the ninth grader.
Ninth grader?
Is he the 10th grader? Was he a junior high quarterback last year, maybe? Yeah,
okay.
Junior high quarterback maybe last year. Okay, yeah.
Sophomore, right-hander. Good-sized young man. Looks to have a little bit of velocity here as he's warming up. So right at the century mark in pitches for Golden. He gives up 6 runs on 5 hits and an error on the day, and he's on currently the pitcher of record.
Yeah, Goodrum will still be tagged to Golden, so Janelle will try to get out of this top of the 6th inning and close the book for Tyler Golden. Almost said Drew Golden.
JB with a couple of sacrifices, 2 RBIs on the day. He reached in the 3rd inning on an error by the catcher as he hit a little nubber right back up at between the pitcher and catcher stretched out the first baseman and rolled it into right field as he was able to get on. So JB doesn't actually have an official at bat today. But he has a couple of RBIs on the day, and we'll see if he can extend this top of the 6th for Arkadelphia with a runner at first and 2 outs and a new pitcher, sophomore Keelan Janelle. Golden to short, Weaver to third. Defensive lineup on the left side of the infield for Malvern. There is a fastball that little too out in front is Bell as he fouls it back off to the left side. Keelan, a young quarterback for the Leopards.
He was in 9th grade. He will defer to Cedric Simmons when Simmons is healthy this year.
Good looking young man out there. Looks to be about 6 foot, probably 195, 200 pounds. Bell at 1 ball and a strike. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Golden, and he will make it, and he's not in time. He tried to leg it out instead of giving it to the second baseman.
I don't know if the second baseman was there.
Either way, a good hustle play by Tate Goodrum, and the inning extends, and we've got a talk out there again from Knight. He's going to come out and argue it. It was a slide and a pop up there by the runner Tate Goodrum going in, so it was just a matter of who got there first, Chris, and Umpire thought it was Tate Goodrum.
I think the Malvern infielders disagreed with that, and that's why Coach Knight came out to talk to the umpire.
Umpire was right on the play, had a perfect position. He was right where he was supposed to be.
It was closer than it should have been, too.
Yeah, that was a routine ground ball that should have just been a quick flip to the second baseman. And, you know, the second baseman has been there the entire game. He is a freshman.
Yep.
Sophomore. Okay. Okay, we had a move there. Sawyer Davis, yeah. So we did have a change of position there. So either way, 2 runners aboard now as Arkadelphia. And Pentecost takes strike 1. So, again, Bell is on base, but he still doesn't have an at-bat because that's going to be an error.
He reached on a fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice error at second base. So, fouled away into that popular parking lot. Off to the right is Pentecost. He's behind now 0-2. 2 on, 2 outs, 0-2.
Good thing about this week, though, if you park in that parking lot, you just say it was the hail that got you.
That's exactly right. Get a free trip to the dent doctor. Off and running is Tate on the pitch, and it's fouled away, so he'll go back. Tate back to second base. JB's at first. 2 outs and an 0-2 count to Pentecost. Janelle from the stretch. Looking at second. Here's the delivery. And it's grounded right back to him. He's going to glove it, make the throw, easy throw over to first, and almost a little bit too much of a lollipop is hustling down the line, but not in time. Is Pentecost, in the 3rd out of the inning, is there. And for the first time since the 2nd inning, the Badgers, they didn't score last inning.
1, 2, 3 in the 5th.
For only the 3rd time today, the Badgers have gone scoreless in an inning as they leave 2 stranded here in the top of the 6th.
You know, you see that throw over. You see more major league pitchers have trouble with that fielding a ground ball and the throw over to first. So a lot of times you see them field it and run over and toss it underhand.
You know, any type of throw to a base from that pitcher's mound is hard. Spinning around and making that play to second base is probably as hard or harder. You don't see a lot over to third, but those are hard pitches, or hard things to do for a pitcher to take those throws to somewhere other than they've been going the entire game.
And take some off of it.
Take some off, exactly. They almost want to go into the windup and throw a pitch over there. They probably have a better percentage. So we're at the cleanup spot. Logan Paul.
Final in the softball game, 3-0 Malvern. It was that 5th inning. Arkadelphia had 2 on and 1 out. Couldn't get them home, and that was the last threat of Arkadelphia. So the Lady Leopards get a 3-0 win in softball.
Again, we want to encourage everyone to join us on Tuesday as we broadcast from Fountain Lake. Arkadelphia and the Fountain Lake Cobras sitting 1-2 in the 7-4A, and then we'll be back at home on Friday as we welcome the Nashville Scrappers in for Champions Night, Southern Bancorp Field. There's a fly ball that's hit to left field, ranging over and making the catch on the run to his right is Jarrett Bell for the 1st out of the inning. JB read it nicely off the bat, made it look easy.
Good read from JB. Arkadelphia's defense all season, with the exception of just maybe one game that they were able to overcome. I guess that was last week at DeQueen, has really been solid. Arkadelphia has really been solid defensively to this point this year.
Myers walked back in the 4th, made his way all the way to third base, but couldn't get home. We'll see if Babb can retire him here in the bottom of the 6th. Badgers, if they're counting outs, they're down to.
Well, don't do that. We'll get in trouble.
No. Down to a handful. Let's
a handful. I don't mind that one.
Juice finally getting a little relief out there in right field. The shadows have kept all the way over there to him, so he's finally got that sun out of his eyes. Still a little bit in Tucker's eyes at first. Everyone else, though they may, the outfielders, the left side and center fielders, left and center fielders in the sun, but not looking at it. So Nice inside pitch by Babb. Folds up Myers, and count now 2 balls and a strike.
When you go back there, if he swings, you're going to jam him. Not a whole lot you can do with that pitch if you can go back to that spot.
And another great pitch by Babb as he paints the outside corner, gets a foul tip off to the right, and he's even the count up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heading into the home stretch here in Malvern, Arkadelphia hanging on to a 6-1 lead here in the top of the 6th. Carter Babb's gone the entire way for Arkadelphia. Swing and a miss, and there's another strikeout. He's starting to pile him up a little bit. Second out is Myers. Cooper now. He struck Cooper out back in the 4th inning. He's had a base on balls back in the 2nd, so 0 for 1 is the center fielder and the senior center fielder.
That's 6 strikeouts. Is that what you got over there? 6 strikeouts on the day.
I'm going to check real quick to let's see what the box score says here for eight strikeouts on the day. I missed a couple. 8 strikeouts on the day for Babb. He's only walked 2. He's got 1 earned run, and that's the only one on the board for them right now.
I guess
he's thrown 80,
feeling okay.
Yeah, he's thrown 85 pitches, 54 for strikes, so that's a very good number. He's faced 23 batters. There's one that comes right back at him. He's not able to put a glove on it, and it goes into center field for a 2-out hit.
Little matrix move, get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, very efficient day for Carter as only his 5th hit of the day, and those aren't able to get around and score, and that's the big thing, and that's what Carter and this defense behind him have done all day. Wise flew out to JB his last time up back in the 4th, so he comes up with a runner on now and 2 outs in the 6th. High fastball misses. .86 pitches now, 87 for Babb. 110 is the limit that a pitcher can go. If he gets into an at-bat at the 110 mark, he's allowed to finish the at-bat, but that's all. We saw the DeQueen Leopard pitcher go
Close.
all of that and maybe then some last Friday at DeQueen. Arkadelphia just basically outlasted the pitcher for DeQueen and then jumped all over the reliever. Piled up a big come-from-behind win at DeQueen. Well, he wanted it, but Carter couldn't get him to go fishing high, so the second base runner is a base on balls, and Wise is the second base runner of the inning. Barber up now. He struck out back in the 4th inning, and here comes Patrick Doss now is going to be in for Barber.
Here in the background, hear the voice of Brett Dolan, the TV play-by-play for the Razorbacks, Arkansas, LSU, starting a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series.
Arkansas gave up its first series loss in 2 years, almost 2 years, as they dropped 2 out of 3 to Florida last weekend, and starting a little early this week because of the Easter holiday. And we're going to see Babb continue on here in the inning. Just had a little pep talk from Coach Lowe, as the sweatpants yielding Coach Lowe today. Little I asked him, I said, is that part of this luck of the Irish thing? We go with sweatpants? And he said, no, I couldn't find my gray pants.
Just left him in the got on the bus without him.
So pinch hitting is Doss for Malvern. He takes low ball 1 to start things off here. 2 down, 2 on, and the top of the 6th inning. Badgers leading at 6-1 in Malvern.
Big spot here. You're only up by 5, so a base hit could cut it to 6-2, keep the inning going. And you're close to getting out of this 6th inning if you can string together a couple of pitches here.
Yeah, Arkadelphia was down 9-2 this time last week, Friday, and found their way to big win. And so certainly don't take anything for granted, especially in the 7-4A. Everyone's a threat. There's a fly ball that's going to be short in the infield. Ranging over is Tucker Johnson and making the catch right in front of DeWitt for the 3rd out. So the mound visit from Coach Lowe does his job as he induces a little pop up there on the pinch hitting Doss here in the bottom of the 6th, and we go to the 7th. Babb at 93 pitches. He's pitched 6 beautiful innings, 5 hits, only one run scored. He's walked 3, struck out 8. He's faced 26 batters. Not a bad line for the junior left-hander. Janelle makes his way back out for Malvern for his 2nd inning of work. Young sophomore will face Witten, Harris, and Johnson. Here in the top of the 7th. I believe that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Six, 7, 8 due up for Arkadelphia here in the top of the 7th inning from Malvern. Once again, gorgeous day here, 70 degrees, and starting to look like summertime here as Badgers have got off those undershirts, those long undershirts they had to wear on those cold, windy days of a week ago, and certainly lucky to even be playing today as much as it's rained. A nice job taking care of their field here in Malvern. Is beautiful facility, nice work in preparing for today's game. There's an outside pitch to start the at-bat for Donovan Witten. Witten struck out a couple of times, and he does have a sacrifice fly. 0 for 2 today. 1-0 pitch, high.
Arkadelphia does have someone warming up in that bullpen. Not sure if they'll start the 7th. Step on the cord, see how that goes, see if they bring Babb back out. Or
there's a shot into center field. Coming in is a center fielder, and he just had a late jump and wasn't able to get there. So a bloop single into center field. Not really sure what happened with Cooper. He got a late jump. I don't know if he thought it had more mustard on it, but it gets up there and just kind of drops like it fell out of an airplane in short center field, and a leadoff single for Donovan Witten.
Next batter for Arkadelphia will be the right fielder, Ryan Harris.
Harris flew out to the left fielder last time. He had an infield hit back in the 3rd and flew out to the center fielder in the 2nd. Off and running. The hit and run is perfectly executed. Ball is hit right under the 3rd baseman's glove, and we'll have runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out here in the top of the 7th.
Well, it's a good rip by Juice, putting the bat on the ball in the hit and run situation. Looks like Tucker Johnson is batting. Katie Young also looks like he's getting a bat swinging, trying to get loose.
Arkadelphia playing without a designated hitter. Most games, if there is a designated hitter, it is Katie Young. Today, going with Zane Hill behind the plate and in the batting lineup. Runners now at 1st and 2nd for Tucker. Tucker's 0 for 3 today. He's hit into a couple of ground ball outs and struck out looking back in the 5th. Takes high ball 1. Zane Hill in the on-deck circle, so we'll see if an outside pitch that a little close to take, but pitcher does not get the call, so 2 balls and no strikes. Arkadelphia threatening again here in the top of the 7th. Runners are going, and it hits Tucker again, and he is hit by a pitch. Imagine that. To load the bases. The runners were going. Nothing he could do. That one got up in his high in his left shoulder. And runners are Badgers are loading the bases here with nobody out, top of the 7th, and chance to put some more space between them and the Leopards here as Zane Hill comes up. He grounded out back in the 5th inning. He's had a single today. Fouls the first one back off to the right. Back in the box for pitch number 2. Back up to the top of the lineup. There's a ball that gets away. It's going to be a throw, not in time.
Well, you got to get down the line.
Yeah, that's a little bit of lackadaisical running by Witten. He's able to leg it out, but a really close play there is Janelle covering home, and the throwback from the catcher, Adams, was just about in time to get him. 7-1 now. It's a 1-1 count. And that was apparently a drop strike. Again, it gets to the screen. It's going to bounce off. That one not going to be near as close as Juice is hustling down the line, and he's going to score easily standing up from third. And now what was bases loaded is now just 1 runner and Tucker Johnson at third and 2 more across and a snowman on the board for Arkadelphia, leading 8-1. That was a ball. Those both are going to be ruled as a passed ball. Those were catchable. Not real sure what the mix-up there is. There's a hard ground ball to third base. It gets there quick. There's a play at the plate, and they're not going to get Tucker as the ball bounces back to the screen. Making the turn over at first is Hill, and so –
yeah, that's probably a throwing error on the third baseman. 5 on the tee. That one just short hopped the catcher, and that catcher's in a bad spot. It caught the lip, I believe, right where the grass and the dirt meet there, right before the plate.
So a fielder's choice and a throwing error on the third baseman.
All 3 of those runners have scored, and Arkadelphia then only has 1 hit to show out of that, I believe, the first 2.
Off and running is the speedy Hill, and he's going to get into second without a throw standing up. Nobody out, still here in the top of the 7th. Arkadelphia putting 3 more on the board, and now another runner in scoring position as we're at the top of the lineup. 1-0 to take Goodrum. Goodrum has a single in the first. He led off the game with a single. He's since been walked and hit by a pitch twice in back-to-back innings in the 4th and 5th. He's been on base 4 times and is 1 for 1 on the day. There's a ball again that's blocked up nicely that time by Adams. A lot of pitches in the dirt here from Janelle, making Adams earn his keep. Not being held on with a nice lead at second is Hill. He gets a good secondary on an outside pitch that is ball 4. So another walk. That's 2 walks, 2 hit by pitch, and a single for the senior Goodrum. Babb now will come back up for his 5th at-bat of the day, and the catcher will visit Janelle at the mound for a little conference as the home plate umpire does a little housekeeping on home plate. And the Badgers had the bases loaded, emptied them, and now they're filling them back up again, Chris.
Yeah, with minimal hits. You have the 2 singles to lead off the inning. Single from Donovan and then the hit and run from Harris, but 3 runs only on 2 hits.
So Babb now, winning pitcher of record, he's hit by a pitch. That's when you want that, instead of that mitt, you want that elbow guard. And Janelle having all kinds of issues here in the inning. And enough so that they're going to be another trip from Coach Knight out to visit with his sophomore pitcher, and it may be a pitching change.
Courtesy running again, Kelburn Middleton at first base for the pitcher.
And we've not had any.
Now we're going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher.
Well, and we're going to also have a pitching change, and that. So now we've got another pitching change.
Don't call him Little Braxton.
Freshman Maddox Allen. Might remember Braxton Allen of years past. Lanky right-hander for Malvern that gave the Badgers fits for several years. Little brother now, Maddox. Maddox. Following in big brother steps, and he'll take the mound now as the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Leopards here in the top of the 7th. And not a lot of welcome wagon for young Allen as the bases are loaded, and the hottest hitter in the lineup for Arkadelphia is lurking in the box to start off things here for the young freshman in the top of the 7th. Three, 4, 5 due up here for Arkadelphia as they've reloaded the bases. I say reloaded for the 2nd time in the inning. They've cleaned them up once with 3 runs already. We'll see if Trip Campbell can add to the damage here in the 7th. Badgers finishing up a little early. Good Friday tomorrow. Schools are out. A lot of folks may have a day off tomorrow. We hope it's an enjoyable one for you. And once again, we want to wish everyone not only a good Friday, but a happy Easter. Update
from Bauxite. They started that game at 6 o'clock. They're already starting the top of the 5th inning, and Nashville leads Bauxite 3-1.
So a couple of middle of the road guys in the conference looking to break their way into the top half. Our Bauxite and Nashville here in Arkadelphia, they've got a perfect record so far in conference play, looking to add 2 today. There's a roped first pitch down the first base, foul by Campbell.
As a batter, you say I was an inch away. The pitcher says, that's just a long strike. I'll get another one of those.
Yep. Outside, trying to frame it in as the catcher, and to no avail. And a ball and a strike now. Juice Harris is at first base.
No, it's Kelburn.
Oh, excuse me. Kelburn Middleton at first base.
Scored.
Juice has already scored. First at second is Tate. And courtesy running over at third is K.D. Young.
A good 1-1 pitch.
1-2 now on Campbell. There's a shot out into center field. Going back is Cooper. He does not have time to get there. It's going to fall in between the left fielder and center fielder, and only one will score. It was looking like it had the third base. All the runners had to tag. Couldn't tell if that was going to be drop or not.
Cooper was shading Campbell to the right center, and that pitch was on the outside part of the plate. Tripp went to left center with that. The center fielder was playing them to pull I don't know if the left fielder was playing in the pool, so that left a big gap in left center field.
Daniel Casterson's going to come in and run for Campbell.
So that'll be a substitution. So Kesterson pitch running for Campbell, and then we'll probably have a re-enter in the bottom of the 7th.
So JB's up now. He's reached twice on an error. He's got 2 sacrifices and 2 RBIs on the day, and another chance to add to that total as Allen working here in the top of the 7th has given up 1 run.
It was a good pitch. It was a 1-2 pitch. He made the batter go after that pitch, and Campbell just found a big gap in the outfield.
And the first pitch hits JB between the top and bottom half of that 8 on his back, and so
I thought you were going somewhere else with the between on that one.
no, that one centered the big 8
Next batter for Arkadelphia.
almost like a
Number 7, Wayne
bullseye.
Pentecost.
And so another RBI for JB. And Pentecost with a chance now to add to the damage here in the 7th. Runners full of bases full of Badgers, no outs. Ball goes behind the batter, Calvert Middleton, going to get in sliding for another run in the inning. That's 6, and the Badgers go up 12-1, and Middleton a little shaken up, but he's going to be okay. So a wild pitch scores another run for Arkadelphia, and there's runners now at 2nd and 3rd. Bell at 2nd. Casterson running at 3rd. There's a sky-rocketed hit shot in foul territory. It's going to drop. 3 Malvern Leopards over there, and it drops harmlessly to the grass in foul territory. So Pentecost will get another chance, 1-1 now to win. Wins walked twice. He grounded out to the pitcher, and he struck out back in the 1st. And he is the 9th batter of the inning for Arkadelphia. There's a shot right over the shortstop's head. That's going to score 1 run. Going into 3rd and not going home is Bell, so Kesterson will score from 3rd.
Yeah, we'll have a pinch hitter now for Donovan Whitten. They'll have, see who it is, maybe Houston Hooten, 24. Houston Hooten's going to pinch hit for Donovan Whitten, and then Whitten will re-enter for defense in the bottom of the 7th. So
maybe.
He just hollered re-enter.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So Houston Hooten now up for Arkadelphia.
Big freshman steps in from the left side.
And Hooten he does have an at bat. But I believe that was a sacrifice.
He got a pinch hit at bat in the very first game of the year against Bismarck.
And I believe that might have been a sacrifice. He has an at bat, but no other stats. There's a sailed pitch that is going to get again past the catcher. JB's not going to run from 3rd. So Allen, freshman on freshman. Maddox Allen and Houston Hooten going at it here in the top of the 7th. Ball in the dirt. Ball 3, and Hooten.
All right, play catch right here. Let's go.
Hooten one ball away from having a walk. Harris on deck. And that one's going to hit a few feet short of the plate.
Let's go.
So again, the Badgers have filled the bases. 13-1 is the score here in Malvern, top of the 7th. Arkadelphia again pouring on in the late innings, and that's been
Coach Lowe's trying to look at the dugout, see who he can get to pinch hit the next for Tucker, most likely.
Tucker's out in the on-deck circle, but trying to get some players in. Coach Lowe, there's a low outside pitch that bounces for ball one.
Go, Maddox.
Looks like, I believe that's going to be.
Get on top right here.
Yeah, Spencer LaFont looks like he's coming on deck to pinch hit for Tucker Johnson.
The brick wall.
Brick wall.
That's his handle on group. Brick wall, Spencer LaFont. Juice Harris, he's looking at 2-0. An inside pitch doesn't hit the zone for 3-0 now. And
Hey, you know where to put him. Let's go.
young Allen is kind of having a trial by fire here in the late innings. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Bases loaded. And it's a strike.
Yep.
Nice pitch there by Allen. That one hit the inside. Nothing you could do as a hitter but be jammed, and a good placement there by freshman. Well, it was freshman on freshman. Now it's freshman on senior as Juice Harris looks at ball four.
Umpire wanted to call a strike.
He started to raise that hand a little and then put it right back down. So
Maddox, you can do it.
Badgers score an 8th run of the inning. It's 14-1 now, and Tucker is going to get the at-bat. So it looks like
Spencer's on deck now.
Yep. Check swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike one.
First baseman, number 10, Tucker Johnson.
Leaving Tucker in. Tucker's in a little bit of slump. You get him some looks.
Arkadelphia not even threatening to run from third. That ball shoots up in front of the catcher, and he got a little bit of.
He got a little kneecap
Yeah, I think that one got somewhere where pads aren't, and so the home plate umpire going to go out and give him a minute to regroup. And I will say this: as catchers go, the young man Adams, the sophomore, has had a full day of work at the ballpark. He's seen 3 pitchers and a lot of action and a lot of balls that skipped a little in front of the plate.
Go, Maddox, you can do it.
He's getting himself together, still bent over a little bit there. Tough guy. You got to be a tough guy if you're going to be a catcher, and he is. He squatted back down there, and a ball and a strike now to Johnson.
He gave a quick thumbs up to the dugout.
Oh, yeah. And there's another one that bounces in front over his head and back to the backstop it goes. Arkadelphia not running.
Finish everything in the mitt.
Base is full of Badgers. Hooten at second. Juice Harris at first. Pentecost over at third. And Johnson the batter.
Relax, Maddox, you can do it.
3-1 now the count.
Go, Bubby.
Badgers satisfied not to take any extra bases. There's an inside pitch that just misses. Another run walked in. And now Spencer LaFont, bat for the Badgers. His first varsity bat of the season, and so it'll take just a minute, though, before he's able to do that. Is out to the mound for a visit is Coach Knight. Coach Knight going to be calling for the dugout, and another young man out there for the Leopards. Number 8.
maybe.
And that is number 8, Evan Stewart. So another freshman making his way out there for the Leopards. Another right-hander. So another game where, or another time where on both sides of the score, I guess we're good, aren't we?
Yeah.
On both sides of the score, each team, even though it's a lopsided game, it is a good opportunity for both teams to get some young players in the game that normally wouldn't get a shot. And today, Arkadelphia benefiting from the right side of the scoreboard, but nevertheless, Malvern able to get a couple of, or 3 actually, underclassmen pitchers in here in the late innings for some work. Arkadelphia getting some little bit of work in here for Spencer LaFont, as he's going to get his first varsity at bat of the year. Again, Arkadelphia starts out on the road Tuesday. They'll travel to Jessieville to face the Fountain Lake Cobras, and then back home for what's always a good game against the Nashville Scrappers on Friday night.
Yeah, if you're making your way to watch the Arkadelphia game against Fountain Lake, that's at the North Garland County Boys and Girls Club. You go Fountain Lake and take a left like you head to Jessieville. If you get to Jessieville, you've gone too far. But there's a big Boys and Girls Club complex. It's where Fountain Lake and Jessieville both play baseball and softball. So
yeah, if you go
an hour and 20 minutes.
Exactly. If you go to Fountain Lake School, you're not going to find a baseball field. No. Folks have made that mistake before. I believe I even have myself. But we'll be there on broadcasting on Tuesday afternoon. Be sure and join us if you can. Spencer LaFont now. Badgers loading every base. No outs. And that one sails over his head. No runner. Arkadelphia going to keep the runners where they stand. Hooten at third. Harris at second. And Johnson at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch to LaFont. And it hits him in the hip. And so LaFont going to get hit by a pitch and bring in another Arkadelphia run. And we're going to get
another pinch hitter,
and that is Ashton Cobb. Cobb we normally see on the pitcher's mound. Today we're going to see him in the batter's box. Sophomore.
Number 20, Ashton Cobb.
And here's Cobb, and he's going to be hit by a pitch. So 2 batters, 2 hit by a pitch, and young Evan Stewart not off to a great start as well. Another Badger going to see some action, and that's going to be, oh, that's Babb. I thought might be another, but that's Carter. Carter, the pitcher of record, and there was one that might have hit another right-handed batter, but good, lucky for Evan Stewart, he's a lefty, so he's in the wrong box.
Swing at anything close or not close.
And the pitch goes way outside again, and Stewart is living in that right-handed batter's box, and again, lucky for him, there's a left-handed batter, and he'd have already hit him twice. 2 balls, no strikes to Babb. There's one, or excuse me, no, that was he did swing it once, so now it's a ball and 2 strikes. So, he's a swinging.
Yeah. Just put the bat on the ball if it's.
He's a swinging, and that one hit him. No? Yep, it hit him. That one hit him down in the right hand and right leg, and Carter did not want to be hit by that pitch. He wanted to we have a chance to swing the bat. All right, so we've got
Jared Campbell, maybe.
number 18 is
Jared Campbell.
That's right.
Another
freshman.
Yeah.
First at bat of the year in varsity.
Umpire wants to call anything close.
Yes, he does.
But you got to give him something to be close.
18 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for Arkadelphia, and he's hit by a pitch again. So this is
Christian Gaither is going to pinch hit now for Arkadelphia.
Justin Gaither going to
Justin Gaither getting a pinch hit. Now you got to figure out how you're going to re-enter some of these once you get to. I don't know how you do that.
I don't know either. It's quite a
Justin Gaither.
Yep.
Christian
Gaither. So this is the line on hit by a pitch. Carter Babb twice, Goodrum twice, Bell once, Cobb once, LaFont once, Tucker Johnson once, Campbell once, and that is young Campbell. Jared. So we've got some changes going on now in the and we'll see who the Malvern pitcher is going to be. So Evan Myers is going to be the pitcher. He's going to move from first base. Logan Paul will go to first base. Myers, a junior. And probably one of your better Malvern pitchers is going to come in here and clean up the mess that is the top of the 7th inning for Malvern. And he's got a welcome wagon as well of bases full of Badgers and nobody out. 9 runs across the inning to make it 19-1, and not the game you want to come in and pitch in. Not a lot to look forward to, but a big fire to put out. Coach Lowe going to continue most likely to bring in those younger players into the batting lineup here in the top of the 7th. And a lot of re-entering going on for defense in the bottom. Cobb's the runner at third. Babb's the runner at second. Jared Campbell is the runner at first. And Christian Gaither is the freshman with the bat in his hand, waiting on Myers to finish his warm-up pitches. And we look to see maybe who that is on deck, if he'll turn enough where I can see a number. And looks like it's going to be Jace Benson. Jace Benson going to get a bat here, short of a triple play. Looks like young Jace Benson, another freshman, will get to see batter's box. So here we go. Gaither, inside pitch, runs high and inside for ball 1. Gaither from the right side, freshman, seen a little action on the mound this year. Sophomore, excuse me. There's a swing and a miss at a pitch that was probably a little high and outside. There's a inside pitch that.
I said Justin Gaither earlier. I was about 25 years too late on that name.
Yep. 28 to be exact. 29. Excuse me. 29 years to be exact. No. Not quite that long. This was my 31st reunion, and it would be his 29th. Played a little ball with Mr. Gaither. 3-1, and there's a ball. It's hit to the third baseman. That could be double play, and it is. But it scores a run, so a sacrifice, and now they're going to tag out the runner.
No, that was Carter who was going to third, so he was already out.
He was already
just
out
into the dugout.
So
the run did score.
Run did score. That puts another run on the board, and Jace Benson now, number 19, young freshman. He'll stand in there with 2 outs and a runner at second base. So the double play goes 5-3. Unassisted. And first pitch is swung on and fouled back by Benson. Hooten waits on deck if Benson were to reach. The pitch thrown right over the head of Jace. Ball and a strike. Strike 2. That one, gracious inside corner there by the home plate umpire. And
we're good with
Jace Benson doesn't care
like
for
it,
it,
but
everyone else in the ballpark says thank you very much. And a swing and a miss to end the inning. So long inning for the Malvern Leopards as they give up 9 runs in the inning.
Re-enter everybody.
And now everybody will see to re-enter, and looks like Carter Babb's going to stride back out for his 7th inning of work as he's pitched to beauty. This is a scorer's nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. If you're keeping a book at home,
bless you.
Bless your heart.
14-run inning for Arkadelphia in that 6th inning. On 3 hits.
Yep.
I guess you just kind of stopped. You just kind of had to stop.
I had to stop. I have a little cheat sheet that I go
4
inning by
hits.
inning, and it's just been, it was
14 runs on 4 hits for Arkadelphia in the 6th.
Sometimes you just go, boo. Good to be on the side of it, but not so good if you're the Leopards today. Long day for Malvern. A little indicative of their season so far. A lot of youngsters that they're trying to get acclimated to the level, and you can rest assured that the Malvern Leopards will not go away forever. They are always a threat for the 7-4A.
Number 3.
Number 3 is going to be number 3. Let's see.
For Malvern.
If I have a Malvern one. Let's see. Oh. I have the numbers. There's the first pitch high and outside, and number 3, Sawyer Davis. Sawyer actually started the day at third base. Not sure where he is now. Second base. Okay. 2-0 now is the count.
I believe Carter's probably around 95 pitches, so 96. So
going to have to be pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Going to have to be pretty efficient to get out of the inning. And there's a pop-up that's going to get out of play. And there's a loud strike.
Now 96.
96 pitches for Carter. Well, Chris, another day of green hats, or another week of green hats,
Yeah.
and you know what? They're starting to grow on me a little bit.
You know, someone said, why did they buy green hats for one game? They're only playing one on the 17th. I said, well, they had a good fundraiser. Turned out they ended up wearing these Well, if you didn't have blue on the uniform, they would have a good Christmas ornament out there.
Yeah.
But they're a couple of superstitious people in baseball, and
There's a fly ball hit to short, and it's going to fall in. So, nice round of applause there for Sawyer Davis as he starts things off in the bottom of the 7th with a bloop single out into short left field. Hunter Adams, he's been the catcher, and that young man will sleep well tonight. He has had a couple of singles today, so been really a bright spot as the leadoff hitter for Malvern today. He's got a runner on here in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody out. 20-1 is the score. Outside from Carter is outside. Get you outside again. 2 balls and a strike now to Adams. We'll see if Coach Knight gets any of his youngsters in to bat. So far, the first 2 hitters have not. It's been the regular 9 and 1 hole hitters for and looks like Weaver's in the on deck circle. And Weaver's been in the game the entire way. Defensively started at short, now at third. Inside pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Or 3.
Maybe 3 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3-2.
3-2. So the count's full. Runner on, nobody out. Score's not close, but count is full and a swing and a miss.
Swing at ball 4.
So a high outside pitch and swinging is Adams. Weaver up now. He's single back in the 5th inning.
Carter right at that 100 pitch mark, probably 103.
103 pitches. Again, you get 110. He's got 1 out. We'll see if he can finish it, but it's going to have to be pretty quick here. There's another ball for pitch 104. Well, we're covered in shade now. It is late 7:34. We're 2 hours and 34 minutes long. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, still 2 outs away from wrapping this thing up. Leopards have a runner at first.
I just got a text a few minutes ago. You remember when you said this game was running along nice and quickly? I got a text from David Green. Said you jinxed it.
Yep. It happens a lot.
Oh.
But the Green Hat Mojo has overcome my jinxing today, at least on the scoreboard.
Right.
So
on the scoreboard it has.
Swing and a miss by Weaver. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arkadelphia looking to run its record to 9-0 in conference. There's a shot up the middle, and Weaver says not quite so quick. And coming in very quickly from center field was Trip Campbell, and almost if he might have even had a chance to make a play, and that's going to be it for Babb. What a day for Carter Babb as he gives up 1 earned run. He pitches over 100 pitches, gives up 5 hits, 6 hits on that one right there. Fantastic day for Carter Babb. And Judson Kuhn is going to come in behind him and make his appearance. Judson has 5 innings of work in 4 games this year. Give up 5 hits, give up 6 runs. 4 of those runs were earned. He's walked 6 batters, struck out 1, hit 2 batters, and he's sporting a 5.60 ERA. Kuhn is a strike thrower. And normally what you would consider a setup man, if there were one for the Badgers, normally it would go Kuhn and then Witten if there was a need. But I would expect Judson Kuhn has probably got the steering wheel on this machine for the rest of today.
Trying to see if I can get this Nashville Bauxite score. Listen to our friends Johnny Wilson and Frank Puryear on their broadcast.
John and Frank.
You don't find them much better than Johnny and Frank down at Nashville.
Nope. No, you don't. Arkadelphia with a big lead here, 20-1. If you're joining us, 20 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, 1 run on 6 hits, and 3 errors for Malvern. But not near as bad as the score would indicate. Arkadelphia leading 6-1 until this inning, and it's just really gotten out of hand with 14 runs here and a lot of young pitchers getting a chance to make their appearance here for Malvern, and not their best day. There's a ground ball to Tate. He's going to scoop it up and go 1 across for 2, and they're not going to get it. So 2 outs now, and the hitter will advance to second base, trying to come up with the double play. The 6-4-3, and it got by. An errant throw from Witten gets by Tucker Johnson at first. So now 2 outs. A run will score for Malvern, so a run across for the Leopards, and Logan Paul will be the hitter now for.
I think Nashville's 1 out away from getting a win at Bauxite.
So bringing themselves So Nashville will go to
they're
5-4. Bauxite will go to 4-6.
Yeah, if it holds on. Nashville's got 2 outs, and Big Goins is up to the plate.
So if that were the case, that would be there's a ground ball that's going to be hit. Ground ball that's hit to Tate. He decides to go home instead. The runner rounding third, and
yeah, it's a good decision by Tate. You're not going to be able to get that out at first. Good throw home. Just catch that and
a little high for Hill, and he
protect that with 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the glove.
Just didn't quite secure it. So a run will come across either way. It's 20-3 now, and Paul makes his way to second base on the overthrow, and Myers will be the batter. Outside, a little bit low in the zone, ball 1. Another outside pitch, and
yeah, the score is 3-2 Nashville in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the tying run is on base. And they just threw out the runner at stealing second, and that's the ball game. So Nashville gets a 3-2 win at Bauxite.
And so that's going to separate third place out nicely. Nashville going to take a 2-game lead with a 5-4 record, a 4-6 record for Bauxite. And that's going to put some gap there between the between the third and fourth place teams. And 2-1 count now, and Coon just needs to throw strikes.
Strikes let them put it in play. We said that earlier, and they had a couple of ground balls right in the hole.
Fouled off.
Nashville Bauxite started at 6 o'clock, finished before us.
2 hours and 41 minutes. Ball 4. And we are going to extend this at least one more hitter, and that's going to be Tyson Cooper, the center fielder. Cooper single back in the 6th inning. He's one of 2 seniors in the lineup today for Malvern. And he's got runners at the corners now. A couple of runs across for Malvern already. Coon with a little bit of a sidearm motion there, a little more than normal.
He was hoping to wanting that pitch. Donovan Whitten signaling to Zane Hill to go ahead and throw down to second base if you end up with a runner going.
Normally with 2 outs, that's not the case, and certainly not the case in a close ball game. With this one, let's get this thing and get that last out.
The softball JV game has also finished behind us.
Strike 2. That's a nice pitch on the inside from Coon. Paints the inside corner. Nothing that Cooper could do with that. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now. As
that inside strike to those right-handed batters has been there all game for pitchers.
Outside for ball 2. So Deuces Wild here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2. The count to Cooper. 2 outs and 2 on.
$20 runs on 10 hits for Arkadelphia.
There's a ground ball right at Tate. Short arms it over to the 6-4 play, puts the game on ice, and that is the ball game, folks. Arkadelphia with an explosion of runs here in the 7th inning. 20 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors. Malvern 3 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. Nice game again for Tate Goodrum. Scored 3 runs, had 2 walks. Go through here. Trip Campbell.
You have fun looking at that box score.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
So Trip Campbell had scored a run, had 3 hits today, 2 RBIs, a walk. JB scored 2 runs. He had a hit, 3 RBIs on the day, led the team in RBIs today. Pentecost had a run on a hit, also with an RBI. He drew 2 walks. Donovan Whitten had a run scored on 1 hit with an RBI. Ryan Harris was 2 for 4 today. He had 2 hits. He had 2 hits, 1 RBI. He walked 1. Tucker Johnson scored a couple of runs, had an RBI on a base on balls. Zane Hill scored a run on a hit and had an RBI. And an RBI for Spencer LaFont. How about that? He had an RBI today in his first at bat. Jared Campbell also with an RBI. Ashton Cobb had an RBI. And so a nice day for Arkadelphia hitting, but I will say this, the story of the day was the pitching of Carter Babb. Carter Babb threw 108 pitches, 64 of which were strikes. He faced 29 batters, gave up 1 run on 5 hits. So I would say our player of the game today, if we had to call one, would be Carter Babb. Nice job by the junior left-hander as he runs the Arkadelphia record in conference to a perfect 9-0. Arkadelphia back on the road to start things next week. Tuesday, they'll be in Fountain Lake to take on the second-place Cobras, and then back home on Friday. It's championship night. That's all Arkadelphia state championships from the past will be welcome on Friday night as Arkadelphia welcomes in the Nashville Scrappers. So from Malvern, we want to thank you for being here. We want to appreciate everyone for being on the broadcast. We'll see you on Tuesday. So for Chris Babb, this is Blake Bell signing off. So long, everyone. Have a great Easter weekend.